Testing, 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 testing. Hello, Wheel Baron. Hello, Ghost. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're both ready for some piping hot content today. Alright, that should be everything. So yeah, get your butts ready. We're literally doing this. I'll talk about why we're doing this once we actually get started for real, but oh, hello, Michael. Yeah. I'm just looking forward to getting to chill out for a bit and shoot the shit over some of my favorite group of characters from the last good while. I gotta say, that's definitely the reason why I keep coming back to this game for playthroughs every couple of months, is that I just really love the cast of characters. I gotta say that this game definitely hit that balance well, and I as someone who wasn't really a fan of Fire Emblem games before this one, like, this really made me turn the corner. Anyway, because we're also just, well, you know, watching cutscenes for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, I have booze. I'm gonna get drunk. Well, not drunk, but like, I'm gonna have some hard cider. One good thing about living in Vermont is that we get tons of really great local breweries. Yeah, Wheel Baron, that's really it. I think there's a lot to be said for games that... And I how do I put this? That's really only something that's come into focus very recently, where games have gotten big enough and we've kind of nailed the basic formula of them enough that RPGs can kind of afford to expand and do like these weird things where they're establishing like all these characters, because support conversations add literally nothing to the gameplay. You don't need them to get their support ranks up, right? It's literally just there to make the world feel more expressive, and when designing games with less experience and less space to do it, like, that wasn't important. it's not like they didn't try, but like especially with like this and Persona 5, the other one you mentioned, it feels like RPGs have really kind of turned a corner and figuring out ways to make these casts so likable and the ways you interact with them so diverse that you really want to play them a couple times because you just want to hang out with these people. Honestly, I think the next logical step for Persona is having actual character supports like Fire Emblem. Imagine a Persona game where you didn't only have like Joker's relationships with the characters, but as you used different characters in battle simultaneously, you could like level up like Ryuji and Ann's relationship, and there could be another story there. Like with as like compact a cast of characters as Persona 5 has in your playable, that would be doable. Also, Persona needs to be gay. If Persona 6 isn't gay, then we're done. Persona built make it like actually gay. Not yeah, exactly. I'm seriously considering downloading a couple of mods for when I play P4 for the first time, since I have it on Steam, to make the one character canonically trans and to open up the gay option. That was... But. Anyway. Persona 4 but not bad edition. Wild. Exactly. Hey Reina, what's up? I hope you're all looking forward to, like, seriously, and I think it's gonna wind up being an hour and a half, at least, maybe 2 hours at most. I don't know. Some supports are really, really short. I'll talk about why we're in this situation in a little bit, but yeah, the transcoded character, yeah. I'm seriously considering making Persona 4 one of my next stream games, just so I can experience it for myself finally. Not on the hardware this time. I don't trust my PS2 anymore. But Naruto's story arc is super painful. One other game I want to play with mods at some point. I really want to replay Breath of the Wild, but with the Linkle mod. Like, I realized more than anything, I want to replay Breath of the Wild, but I don't want to play it as Link. I really just want to play a female character in Breath of the Wild. And that would be like, chef's kiss. If Zelda's not playable in Breath of the Wild 2, I'm going to flip some tables. Just tired. I want to play Bugsnax. I hear Bugsnax is good. I haven't seen much about it, but from what I've heard, it is a surprisingly delightful little game. Problem is, I have not modded my Switch yet, and I'm not sure what repercussions come with that. Like, so I need to do a little bit of research on what that would mean, because, you know, I still want to have stuff like being able to play online safely and shit. But so I need to do some research. Linklebot was super. I really hope so. I mean, on the one hand, Link and Linkle are two separate characters that played entirely differently in Hyrule Warriors, so making Linkle just a female Link, that's dismissing our character. On the other hand, I get it. I want to play. Do you have Wii U version? I don't. I only have Switch. I could get Breath of the Wild on my Wii U if I really wanted to, but like, why would I want to? Oh, speaking of which, it's noon, so let's get this party started. All right, so little bit of background here. So, I replayed Fire Emblem Three Houses over the past like month or so, because I was like, it's time for me to replay it, and I had a great time doing it. I'm so glad I did. This time I went through and I played Blue Lions, and over the course of it, I kind of came to agree with the general consensus that in terms of like the single story that gives you like the best kind of overview of the whole conflict and the best overall arc and characterization, Blue Lions is probably the best single route to play if you're playing a single route. I kind of came around the corner and agreeing that to that now. Another thing I wanted to do to make this a little bit more spicy was I wanted to unlock as many of the support conversations as I could, because I realized the game has a way of like tracking what supports you've seen, and I'm like, oh, I've missed so many of these. When I go through this, my priority is going to be unlocking as many of those support conversations as I possibly can, which I did. And I got a whole bunch of them, but I still wound up missing some, as you can imagine, because there is way more than I realized. I prioritized people like Dimitri and Dedu and Gilbert because, you don't get them on other routes, so I wanted to make sure I hit all those ones, but I got to the end and I'm like, I'm still missing a ton of these. Now, if you have the DLC, one of the things you can do is go to the fortune teller and spend your renown in order to kind of make two characters grow closer together so you can unlock their supports. And I'm like, you know what? I did really damn well on this. I got a bunch of them. I'm just going to go do that for the last couple supports just to make sure I fill it out. Turns out there were more that I missed than I thought. I had done exceedingly well, I thought, but holy shit, there are a ton. So, after all was said and done, and I'm surprised I had enough renown to actually make it happen, I wound up with 63 support conversations, and these are all A-rank supports, or whatever their highest rank is. There's so many. There are, and not all of them are used either, which is amazing. But now keep in mind, that 63 that are left, think about how many I actually completed in order to get to that point. So, this is what the support screen looks like. Everyone got to A rank with Byleth pretty naturally just from battle. I told you I focused down Dimitri and Dedu and Gilbert because they're route exclusive. I also got all the ones with the sewer rats done because after that point I got the plan like, oh, I'll go through all the factions from the bottom up and make sure they're all rounded off, but that didn't really pan out into anything. So, now, I'm stuck with a whole bunch of supports that I need to watch. And I could just, like, slam on the A button through them all, but that doesn't seem very fun. And, kind of antithetical to the whole point of this run. So, without further ado, we will now start at the top with our man Felix and go down the list. And I counted it at 63. I could be wrong, but actually, you know what? Let me put a counter on the screen. Hold on. There we go. We'll have our handy dandy counter in the upper right hand side there. I'll update that as we go through. And without further ado, let's see the support between Felix and... Oh, I got a lot of Felixes done, actually. Between Felix and Lysithea. There might not be a ton of commentary doing this because it's literally just cutscenes, but you're like,
come on.
Oh, right, because in their arc together, Lysithea was trying to get Felix to eat cake, and Felix doesn't
If
like
by
sweet things.
edible you mean incredible, then yes, I agree.
It was satisfying and lightweight. I imagine it would be quite useful.
I find it
without
really
it.
hard to like Felix. I think he has a really insightful view on Dimitri's character, and I think he's important to have around. But he's so much of a
You're
fucking
upset, and I
teenage
don't
edgelord
understand
that it's
why.
hard to take him seriously.
I'm complimenting the cake.
Like,
You cured my dislike of sweets.
it's
For
like
that,
he
I
wants to be that tortured badass,
You
and
have
like,
an
very
interesting
little of
way
his
of giving
character
compliments.
justifies that attitude.
I'm glad you like
Sure,
it.
he lost his brother,
Yes.
but like,
Letting
you're in
cakes
Fire
on you.
Emblem world, everyone's lost someone.
You say that as though I
And
just
yeah, his
carry
dad
cake with me
dies
at all
partway through this
times.
arc, but like,
Did you want some?
he hates his dad.
That's not what I
Whatever.
meant.
Like, there's no reason for me to be.
If
He's
you
yeah, he's also a
like
huge
cake,
dick.
however,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
wouldn't object to eating a slice.
It's like
If cake is what you want,
he's the
you
kind of
just
guy
ask
who had
me
his
directly.
OC do the nothing
It just so
personnel
happens
thing.
I have a brand new recipe I tried out, special for you. It's
Ah.
delicious and not overly sweet. Perfect for you.
Okay.
But he's also the worst. Yeah, exactly.
Go on.
I feel
take
like
a bite.
I want to like him, but like he's just too much of an
Love it, I can
edgelord
tell.
and
Here,
doesn't
try this
really
one
have
too.
anything else going for him.
Hmm.
He has some. Does have some good supports
So
with
amazing, huh?
He's this game's Navarre. Exactly. He's this game's Navarre in a game that has enough time to give Navarre worrying characterization. So, oh man, her Lysithia's things just clipped into each other there. Um,
Hmm?
Him and Sylvain being gay. That I do love that.
Does sound
Unfortunately, I don't know if we get to see that one, but him and Sylvain being gay is very, very good. God. And I do like his supports with Ingrid about like the nature of knighthood and what Glenn's sacrifice actually meant in the long run. But most of his supports are just him being like, ugh, I hate talking to people, except you, I guess, maybe.
And that's how it's done.
Good to know. There are so many differences between bows and blades.
Yes. You're a quick learner, Leonie, and quite a good teacher as well.
Must be Captain Gerald's influence. The weather, the terrain, the enemy's feelings. You have to find ways to make it all work.
Oh,
for you.
Leonie.
I agree.
A tsundere, how
A warrior can't
old-fashioned.
stick too close to the
You know what? Yeah, he's a tsundere, but he
That's
doesn't
quite
have
true.
any of the redeeming
You're
qualities of a
impressive for a girl.
tsundere. Is the
For a
thing.
girl. Come
He's
on,
mostly
get past
soon,
that.
very little dere.
Looking down on your opponent is a great way to fall into a pit
God,
trap, isn't it?
I want to like Leonie so
I
much.
suppose that's true.
This is a weird thing to notice, but I love her voice actress. Her voice lines have this, especially post time skip, have this very pleasant quality to them, and I'm like, oh, I like that voice.
I hope to learn more from you, Leonie.
But her character is a little bit too. Ugh.
Come up with plenty of
I'd like
new
it more if
ideas
she
to work
wanted to
together.
become a
Guess that
mercenary
means we're partners,
like
doesn't it?
Geralt. You know, like if she was in, because Geralt is like a legendary mercenary, right? Like he's known
Partners.
all the
Friends
continent.
who help each other improve.
So it'd be one thing
Partners.
if that was the
That's
angle.
Not bad.
Not at all. Looking
But
forward
it's
to working
not.
with you, partner.
Her angle is that,
Likewise,
oh,
partner.
I need to do all this because I have this very, very weird and unhealthy obsession with specifically the main character's father. That's what makes it like very, very weird. It's like at times she's like fighting with Byleth for Geralt's affections, which is super weird. And also Geralt was only her mentor for like a short period of time, right? It's there are so many different ways they could have done her justice, but like ugh. Leonie, exactly. Like that's what it stops feeling like she's got a hero thing and starts feeling like she really just wants to fuck our dad, which is so uncomfortable. Felix and Sedith, I don't remember what these two do.
Hello, Felix. Training alone again, I see.
Spying on me again, I see.
It is not my intention to spy. I am merely
You know, I
concerned
kind of
about
turned a
you.
corner on
Do
Sedith.
not think
I
you
thought
have been
Sedith was
keeping your
very
friends at a
annoying and
distance
stuck
because you
up and like
dislike them personally.
as I've seen more of his supports,
Rather,
I feel like
you
it's less that he's
their
stubborn and
concept
stuck
of
up, but
proper
more that
knighthood.
he's
Is
very
that not so?
You really have been watching me closely.
concerned and a
You're
little bit
correct.
old-fashioned in the way
I
that he
don't
shows it,
understand why they revere
which
knighthood.
I mean makes sense.
I
Dude's
won't
like
be
how
friends
many
with anyone
generations
who
old at
believes
this
in
point?
that
But
nonsense.
feel that way because of what happened
Still.
in the tragedy of Dusker? I have heard the story.
He's reasonable,
Your
responsible, and
brother
also
was one of
super.
the royal
Yeah, that's a great
knights.
way of putting it, Reina. He's
He gave his
reasonable,
life to
responsible, and
defend the
very,
prince.
very cautious. Which I
My
guess
brother
makes
was
sense.
doing his
He's been
job.
alive for how fucking long,
My
so it must be
father is the
working.
real
But
problem. When my brother's armor was brought back to the castle, do you know what he said?
it's.
He died
I don't know.
for
It
the
really
true
rubs me the
knight.
wrong way until you start seeing more of his
Gets the worship
of
and
his,
glorification of death.
gentler
alone
side when you
fighting
get
that
deeper into his
grotesque?
supports. Like his support with
Suppose
Bernadetta
you'll
is very good.
excommunicate
I
me
like
for
that one.
blaspheming like this.
Not at
But
all.
it's very much hidden
I
there.
am not an
So I don't
expert, so I
hate
have
him as
no
much as I
intentions of lecturing
used
you
to, but
about chivalry. So long as
it's
one's
very.
conduct is consistent with the teachings
It's also
of the
still not
goddess,
my favorite.
It is
but
up to the individual
kinda
to
turned a
decide
corner.
right from wrong.
In that case, I'd like you to formally pardon me for not having friends.
You require no such pardon. This is merely advice from an old man to a
God
young
damn
one.
it, Felix.
As unwavering as your convictions may be, the others also feel strongly about their beliefs. If you hate all those whose beliefs are different from yours, you will hate everyone eventually. People with exactly the same beliefs as you simply do not exist.
Okay, that's a good little bit of
You
insight
do
for
not
Felix
have
there.
to change your beliefs, of course. But you do have to accept that others feel differently. That is my
Felix,
advice to you.
yeah,
I will speak no
you're
more.
right. It's kind of a contradiction for because he very
So,
much is like the
Can I ask
the
one
pointlessness
thing?
of fighting and chivalry,
Why are you
glorification
going
of
out
war,
your
while
way
also.
to tell me this?
Oh, you know what? Actually, I don't know if it's a contradiction because
Because I trust
I
you.
don't. He sees all
Now
of
that
like
I've heard what you have to say,
war,
I trust you even more.
chivalry, that
I am
glorification
also
of
a
fighting
rather
as
sensitive
pointless,
person.
but sees
I thought you
personal
and I might get
strength
along.
as something
I
with
see.
inherent value, and I get that about him. Like
You've gone to so
in
much
his
trouble.
worldview, that's
Maybe
one
I
of the
have to
only
start
things that
making room
has
for his
inherent
own.
value, right?
Good. Do not take this the wrong way, but
But the
I
problem
hope
is
you will surpass
he's also an
my
edgelord
expectations.
who needs to be able to show it off to people. So if there's no conflict for him to... Who's next? Felix and Flane. Oh, I forget how this one goes. What are these two?
Felix!
Flane has some of the weirdest supports in this game. Like, holy shit.
You. What is it now?
Do not fret.
Oh, right. She was making Felix play Fruit Ninja.
I have other things
That's
to see
so
to.
funny.
You said that for one
Literally,
moment,
like, one of the
they
other
must
supports, she
also be
tosses up a bunch
prepared
of
to
fruit and
kill.
has him cut it in the air.
This again. Yes, that's what I said. You still have a problem with that?
No, I do not have a problem with it at all.
No support for your.
I
So,
simply
Reina,
want
one of the
you
things
to
that I
live too.
prioritized when I was playing through was that
Then I'll get
I
back
wanted
my
to make
training.
sure I finished Dimitri's,
Excuse me,
Dedeu's, and
not
Gilbert's
finished
supports
yet.
as soon as possible because I knew
During
that they
this
were
time
root
of war,
locked.
you must
So,
wield your sword to ensure your own
I did
life.
all of his supports
If that
much
is the
earlier.
case, then it follows that
Which
you should
unfortunately
put an
means
end
at
to
the
this
end
war.
here that
To end
he doesn't
the
have
war,
any.
You'd have to kill more people.
Perhaps
Sorry about
that.
that.
Is true.
I do like his
When all
supports
is
though.
said and done, there
Even
will
if a
no
lot
longer
of the
be
A
anyone
ranks
to
are just
kill,
him apologizing to
only
people.
live. Is that not so?
That's pure fantasy. But if it came to pass, there would be no place for me.
I just thought he was so important to make sure I got it done, right?
I was raised to swing a sword. That's all I know. In a world without strife, warriors like me would be
Oh,
lost
Felix,
souls.
shut the hell up.
It's tragic.
Warriors like me would be
We
lost.
fight
So.
to bring
No, you
peace and
wouldn't. You
then
just choose
we
not to
achieve
because
it
you're kind of an
and lose
asshole.
our purpose.
I do not think that is anything you should worry yourself over.
God.
If the war ends and
Here's
peace
one thing I
reigns,
forget. Why is
I shall
Flane
be sure to
canonically,
have
or
plenty of
not
wood
canonically,
chopping
why
for you
is
to
Flane
do.
still so
What a
tiny?
generous offer.
I think like she took a nap or something for a
And
couple thousand
you will
years.
never be short on fruits and vegetables to chop for me either. If you felt like you lost your purpose in life, surely you would
I
find
forget
a new
why
purpose.
she's
It's
fucking
not
old
like
but
you to
still
be afraid
tiny.
of losing
Other than
something after all.
she's like an annoying
Huh.
tiki. They age slow, but like
I never thought about it, but maybe there
she's
is a
not
path
that
forward
much.
this time. I'm intrigued.
She's not that much younger than her father is. I'm like
I might
they're
even
on the
like to
same time
realize this
scale.
Fantasy of yours.
Oh,
They age slow,
that
but she's
brings
still
me
like
such joy, Felix.
Tiki was also
Together
trapped for
we
how?
can
Yeah,
make
fair
this a
enough.
reality.
God, saying the
I can
phrase
see it
"Flane
now.
is this game's
A
Tiki"
life
just
where
made
you
me
slice
feel really,
vegetables
really
rather
dirty
than
for some
people.
reason.
I will greatly enjoy the day when we inhabit a world like that.
Ugh. What's up, Katie? Welcome to the stream. Because when she was young, she was... Oh, God. Stop this, Will Barron. All right. I really turned a corner on Ash. I like Ash a lot. Especially as we kind of get see more of his character and why he is the way he is. I wanted to learn more about Ash's history before meeting Leonardo. That seems really fun to me, but alas, not to happen in this game. Let's see Ash and Mercedes.
Excuse me, Ash. Do you have a moment? I finally managed to finish cooking a dish.
Oh,
and
right.
I'd love
Teaching
for you to
Mercedes
have
to
a
cook.
taste.
Man, a lot of these supports are people teaching other people to cook, especially with Dedue. Does that make any sense to me? Wheelbaron, have you played this? Have you played Three Houses, Wheelbaron?
I used that herb you suggested. Boiling it gave off such a lovely aroma.
I'm not missing this.
I think I used the right
I mean,
amount of spice.
Katie, this is definitely not
I could
content
eat
to be
without
missed.
burning
This
my
is
tongue.
primo
I'm a
content.
much better cook now, thanks to you. I hope you can continue teaching me.
Oh, definitely. I should.
I
tell you
really
too.
want to learn more about like
Me?
Ash's
Even after all the trouble I
life,
caused?
like
Seeing
short
you
life of crime as
persevere
a
has
street
made me
urchin.
Really happy. In
Never
fact,
played
you've
much.
reminded me of someone I cared about
Nice.
a lot.
Don't really understand this game though. That's
Someone
fair.
you cared about romantically? This is all so sudden.
So
Ash.
these are characters that we've kind of
I
fought
didn't
with
mean
and
it
grown
that way.
alongside
I
for
was
like about
actually
70
thinking
hours or
about
so.
her.
And what we're seeing are about
What do you
60
I didn't even know you
60
had a
conversations between them that are meant
Was
to
the
take
son of
place
Renato,
after,
my
like,
adoptive father.
they've grown for
I
a
always
long
called
time
him my brother.
together.
Failure
So,
never
you know.
got to him. All he'd ever do is laugh and try again.
I should have made it literally
Whenever I was
just
feeling
63 Fire
down
Emblem
about
3
a
Houses
setback,
support conversations
he would cheer
presented
me
without
up.
context.
He'd say
That would have
something
made it
like,
better.
"Don't worry, we'll tackle it together next time."
Romantically?
I was
Sometimes.
always happy to have him around.
He
I don't know
sounds
who's
so
going to end up with who in this
person.
game. When I checked last,
He was.
um,
And I get the same feeling from you.
definitely
I've done nothing but
Catherine and
follow
Shamir
you
are getting
for those
together,
little
so that's
things.
good. Those
I'm
two
sure
need
I
to get
could
together in
never
every
be
route
like
as
your
possible.
brother,
Um,
but I'd like to stay by your side.
I've been kind of angling to get Dorothy and Petra together, and I think
What do you mean?
Bernadetta with Yuri.
I wanna be
I think
here to help
Annette's.
you
I
in
think
times of
Annette's gonna
need
get the
or
family ending where
to
she
cheer
winds
you
up with
up when
Gilbert,
you're
which is like,
feeling down.
but meh.
I should be able to manage that without doing too much damage.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Thank you, Mercedes.
So opinions on the
know I can
Marianne
rely on
Dimitri
you.
support. I really love the Marianne Dimitri support, even though we're not going to see it today, because it's a really. It hit really home about never knew Effie had so much story. That's like what half of Effie is the story. The tactics role playing is like secondary. But on Marianne Dimitri, half of like it just hit really home for me about their discussion about how you present yourself when you don't feel like when you just genuinely do not feel happy and cannot feel happy. I loved it. Is there a video you can watch you can waste your life on? Well, I think you found it.
Forgot how spooky this place is. I don't know if I can do this alone. No, I've got to. What use am I?
Oh
making
right,
when
Ash and
I
Annette
can't
had a
handle an
support
empty
series
tower?
where they're all like
Here comes.
scared about ghosts. Dimitri also had a very good one with Happy,
The doll from my father must be in there.
kind of in a similar
I'm
vein.
too scared to go looking for it.
Annette!
Ash, what are you doing here?
Yeah, exactly, Randa. There's compilation for
Here,
supports and there's
I
let's
got
plays
this
for the
for you.
plot. This is neither of them.
My doll!
This is a bunch of support conversations I need to watch with none of the
You
context
went
that makes
back
them
for
have
it?
any appeal.
Why?
So,
Your father
Finger
gave it
guns.
to you. I know you said you'd throw it away, but you can't just toss out something so important.
Ash, thank you. I'm so happy. To be honest, I didn't have the courage to go back in there to get it myself. But thanks to you, I didn't have to. And you're
it's also
afraid
why
of ghosts,
I
right?
suggest if you
Are
have
you
any
okay in there all by
alcohol to
yourself?
take a
Well,
couple
not
leisurely
really.
sips.
I tried my best not to think about it. My legs shook whenever
They kind
I
of have
did.
vacant stares. They a little bit,
Ash.
yeah,
You're safe now. I
because
promise.
their expressions are all
Oh,
kind of
will
like
you?
generic and
Okay.
repurposed for every single character
But I'm
model,
glad
so
I could help you.
none of
I see
them
a
are
smile
really
on your
specific to
face.
characters, but
Look at me though. A
underage.
grown man.
No,
Scared
don't
of
underage
ghosts.
drink.
Pathetic, right?
No,
No.
I don't think that at all. I think
No,
you're
don't do
something
it.
Special, Ash. You were really brave, and all for me. That wasn't
That
easy
one,
to
like
do.
the arm pumping emotion. Every time I see it, I'm like, really?
Thanks.
That's their.
Maybe there is still
I think the
hope for
problem
me
is that
as a-
after seeing so many of the conversations, you know all of the motions already.
I'm sure you'll be
Don't worry. Yeah, I just gotta cover my ass.
Maybe you'll even
Same with
outdo my
smoking.
father.
That's fair.
That's
They're
a
both kind of
frightening thought,
acquired things. I
comparing me
can't
to someone
stand
like
smoking.
Gilbert. But it's a happy one too.
Hello,
It makes me
Mercury.
wanna work
Welcome
that
to the
much harder.
stream. Aw, they got over the fear of ghosts. God, Ash, why are you so precious? What's next? Ash and Ingrid.
There you are, Ingrid.
Whoa, hi Ash. You seem excited. What's that you're holding?
Just a reminder that you
Okay,
can
I found it
see the
now.
current
I bought it
number
for
of
you.
support conversations we are on in the upper
Me?
right-hand corner.
Ash, this looks very costly. Antique books like this are never cheap.
Oh, right, these two were talking
Wow.
about. Well,
The
their
cover is
support
stunning,
chain was
and
about
the binding is still in fantastic condition.
the fables behind
Drove a hard bargain.
Knights,
Still,
Heroes of
I'll
Old.
probably have to cut back on
Is
my
Genshin
spending
Impact a
for a
good game? I
while.
have no idea.
Why
haven't
did
played
you
it
go
yet.
to so much trouble?
I heard it's a gacha, so I'm a little bit
It wasn't
I'm a little bit
easy,
hesitant to
but
get
as
into
soon
it,
as I came
but
across this legend, I
people
knew
seem to
I
like
had
it,
read
so.
too.
Well then, I will read it. Oh, the knight on the cover looks striking.
Oh God.
Fascinating, right? I was captivated from the moment I laid eyes on the cover.
There's an aura of stoicism intermingled
My
with beauty.
favorite support, and I don't
Amid a
think, or one of my
gruesome
favorites
battle.
with Ingrid, and I don't think we
Neat.
get to see it here,
Looking
unfortunately.
closer at the
But
face, this knight
Ingrid has a
is
support
woman.
with
Yes.
with
and she was a
Ignatz that I
real
really
historical
like.
figure. She
Where
was born
she
into a
keeps trying to
noble family,
get Ignatz to do
bore
sexier and
crest.
sexier
She was
artwork, and it's like,
accepted
come
into
on,
the king's
Ingrid.
service as a knight. She fought in many
I do
battles
like
at her king's
I
side,
do
serving
occasionally
him
play
all
gachas.
her
I'm on
life
currently on a
as his
break
right
from
hand.
Faye.
Oh,
I will
sorry,
play that on
I've said too
occasion
much.
if there's
I
a banner
didn't
I'm
mean to
interested
spoil
in,
the
but
story for you.
right
I'm just
now.
so excited. I hope you enjoy it too.
Thank you for the encouragement, Ash. Living as a knight is certainly not an easy task. I know it will mean much pain, strife, and heartache.
It's not. It
But I
is.
still
It is
want to
inherently
pursue that
predatory.
dream.
Is the thing about it. You have to be
Talking
careful
you
when
has
you
reminded me.
pick them up. But
I'm not the type who gives up easily.
God,
That's the
I
Ingrid
want to
know.
like Ingrid so much, and I really,
So to
really
start,
don't.
I'm going to read this book.
Like
Great. When you're finished
her
and
her
freshly
arc is
inspired,
interesting
we'll
because
talk
it's about
becoming knight.
she's devoted to
Not
the ideals
ones
of
in
knighthood and
stories
wants
either.
to give her
The real
life
thing.
and service as a knight.
I look forward
But
to it,
you know
Ash.
can't because she's the crest inheriting, because she has a crest and is got some noble duty to shit out a bunch of kids, which is a little bit well trodden territory, but is interesting enough. But then she's also racist, and I'm like, what the fuck, Ingrid? Anyway, but then double D from Manel, and with the subtitle drop her tits even bigger. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I wish they had leaned more into Ingrid's very it seems like she had a very burgeoning nerdy side, where she was like in a more modern setting she would have been into manga and shit. Like I can see that. All right, Ash and Caspar.
Go on, eat up.
Now, if I recall correctly, these two were
Wow, you're really going at it.
We're having a support conversation about the best way to deal with what was
Still
it?
hungry,
A
huh?
thief?
You're a
that they'd
greedy
come
little
across?
fellow.
And they were kind of at odds. Where Ash is like, "Oh, I want to
Oh,
solve
here
the
he
problem that
comes,
caused
right
them
on
to thief in
time.
the first place," and
Food's all
Caspar is
ready to
like,
go.
"No, crime bad."
Huh? Ash, what are you doing here?
Caspar, I was just, hey, hang on a second. Did you come here to feed the cat too?
But now they're bonding over a cat,
Feed?
which is very
Well,
cute.
I don't know what you're...
You know and you know what they say about two men with a cat.
Is that what you're doing?
I have been for a while. I had no idea you were doing the same.
I was just worried about the guy. I didn't want someone else to find him. and
Caspar
hurt him.
absolutely
I
has a
figured it
gay
would be
cut.
best to watch out for him. You know me, defender of the helpless. More importantly, though, what's your excuse?
I didn't want him stealing more supplies, so I figured I'd take care of him. Guess we're not so different after
Do you know
all,
the guy?
are we?
Envelope.
Yeah,
Nice.
I guess
They
we're
were
not.
roommates.
Deep
Yeah.
down.
Since you're here,
God.
Feed this little guy
I
with
can
the
see
bread.
I can see these two having a very good ending
Got
together.
something good.
I don't think we're gonna get it because we're only now
Looks
doing
like
the
it.
A rank support, and I'm not using them during the
Hey,
final maps.
Where did
So
you get that?
Get
the
what?
3 big strongman of the class are
It
Dedu,
looks
Raphael, and
awfully
Caspar. Who's
fresh.
like, yeah,
didn't take
and
that
if you
from
throw
the
in
kitchen,
Balthus as
did
well,
you?
and the Caspar's just
Is that some dried fish and vegetables? Looks like someone's
tiny
leftovers.
teal baby.
Well, never mind how I got mine. What about yours?
I'm a defender of the
Uh.
helpless. You really think I'd steal some food from a cat?
What was that one?
I got it by fighting an
oh.
old guy in the dining hall.
Shit,
I won
I
it
forget
fair
the
and
name of the
square.
creator.
You started a fight over that?
Never mind, I can't
No,
remember what it
the
is, so I'm
old
not gonna
guy
do it since I
started a
can't credit
fight.
him. But
Then I took his dinner as a prize. Aw, you love this meat, don't you? And you love when I fight.
oh
don't
my
you?
God, Casper's cat voice. Casper talking to a cat is so fucking precious.
Well,
Oh my
this
God.
cat's happy, so I'll let you off easy just this once.
I
You're
can't
lucky he's
handle
so
it.
cute.
God, I really wish I could have seen their ending now, because that's just adorable. All right, Marianne and Ash.
Oh, Marianne, are you confessing again today?
No, I was waiting for you.
For me?
The Dew is taller than you, Reina? Yeah,
I
Dedu
wanted
is
to
huge.
apologize. You kept trying to encourage me, but I just avoided you in return.
No, I'm the one who should
I
be
forget what
sorry.
these two were doing, but
I only wanted to give you some advice.
it feels like
kept
everyone's
running
support with
you off.
Marianne is like, hey, Marianne, you should smile more. And Marianne's like, no.
You said that my crest is an extraordinary gift, but I don't agree with that at all. Don't people have
God,
more
basically every one of
feelings?
Hanneman's supports is
What do you mean?
him being way too ignoring of other people's personal space about their crests, and them being like, dude, back the fuck off.
Or whether or not we can make other
Same
people
with
smile.
Linhart. A lot of
Sylvain
Linharts are
says
like
a
that too.
person's value is in their smile.
Sylvain, huh? He really can turn anything into a line.
I'm trying to be less negative.
And her first Demetra, is there no need
I've
for you to
also
smile if you don't
realized
feel
that
like
I
it?
should have a dream
Exactly. It's
person
so
like you
good.
do. think
I do love her
people who
supports
have
with
something
Dimitri.
to work
It's
toward are more fulfilled.
Xanth.
Yet
I
here
don't know
am,
what that is reference to,
living an
but
empty life without a dream.
That still sounds kind of negative. to
that
me.
still sounds good.
What does being fulfilled even
Ash,
mean
chill the
here,
fuck out,
anyway?
please.
Are you saying that people without dreams live empty lives? I don't agree with that. When I was a kid, I was too busy worrying about
All
my next
Hanneman wants to do
meal
is
have a dream.
exactly. But the
Was
thing
my
is,
life
like, he
easy
doesn't
then?
know where
That's not what I mean
he
at
has
all.
science to do, and
I
he
just
is
don't know.
unfortunately
I
very
don't
bad
know
about
how
respecting
to
other people's
find my
personal space
dream.
to get it done.
Hey, chin up. Maybe
Like,
I'll
remember
help.
during the main game when he
I'm
just
sure we can come up
fucking
with something for
steals
you in
some of
no
your
time if we
hair
put
and
our
blood
heads
while,
together.
when you don't know about
Will
it?
you help me?
Absolutely.
Oh, she's the VA for
Unless,
Haru. Oh,
You
okay.
don't want me to, of course.
No, I would
I
appreciate
really like the idea
I'd like to
behind
find
Haru's
something
character,
I'd
but I
like you to
don't
like.
like
together.
I don't like that
with
she's like
you,
the token
and with
capitalist
my
teammate,
head
you know?
held high.
Hey, support level A, GG. All right, let's see. Ooh, Ash and Catherine. This is a good one. Because remember, the whole thing with these two is that,
Wow, you've gotten much better. You're not doubting yourself
Catherine
anymore.
basically killed
It's like
his
your state
adopted
of
dad,
mind is
right?
Completely different. What changed?
Well, not
Can I
Catherine,
tell
but
you
she was the one that
honestly?
led the charge against him.
Please do. Maybe this is a chance to resolve our
True
dispute
fact,
and move
Catherine
on.
cannot actually kill Leonardo during that chapter. She will run right up to him, but
Even as a
cannot
person.
attack him.
I know I can trust you, but somewhere in my heart, there's a part of me that can't forgive what you did.
Of course. Your brother's blood is on
You're
my
not wrong,
hands.
Wheelbaron.
It wouldn't be easy for anyone in your position to feel forgiving. If someone said it was easy, I would probably give him a smack in the face. You may never be able to forgive me, no matter how hard you try.
Haru is she joins late in the game and has very little.
Admire your spirit,
And the
Catherine.
thing is, like,
Honestly,
her
I do.
the chapter where she
I hope the
joins,
part of me that's
the palace
broken this
isn't really
grudge will get
about her,
smaller with time.
and
Maybe someday.
the fact that it's about her dad
That's rather poetic.
is very tangential. Like, Like you
I'm
you
being
think you're going
serious.
into. Oh, hold on.
Sorry, didn't mean to make light of it.
No, it's all right.
Fix it.
We should have talked
Like
about this
yeah,
months
her
ago.
dad's a
I feel like I
corrupt
can
businessman,
finally stop
like
dwelling
running his
on the
employees
past
to the ground.
and
Like
start
yeah,
looking
but that
forward
has
to
very
the
little
future.
like emotional
I
resonance
think
with
meeting
the
you has
game
been
at that
good for
point,
me,
which is
too.
the point.
Different people
Because
have different
spoiler
needs.
alert,
They don't always agree on
there
what's
are
right
other
and
reasons that
wrong.
you wind up doing that chapter.
Maybe
But
that's obvious,
like,
but it's something I think about. when it
unfortunately
happened to
for
you.
her, she comes in at a point
Can I
where
ask something of you?
the palace has very little
like to get
emotional
to know you
resonance with the
better,
rest of the
Catherine.
story,
As a person.
for good reason, but it still
and
does.
as my
And
friend.
Sure,
her
but I won't do all the talking. It'll be dull if you don't tell me about yourself too.
and her support ranks aren't that
It
interesting.
won't
But
be very
what if
interesting
ethical
for you,
capitalism,
but
though?
okay.
Yeah. See, what if she had had one where
Let's
she
chat
saw
over a
what
nice,
her dad
tasty
had
meal,
done,
my treat.
and instead decided, how can I,
Well, now,
you know, how do I
watch over
leave
me,
this
please.
behind? How do like
Hurry up, or
I've
I'll
now
eat
been
all
put in the
food.
position of someone with this power.
Coming.
It is, and what if instead she came to the conclusion that it was fundamentally unethical, and then decided to return her company to the workers, and instead do something for herself? Like, imagine something like that. That would be amazing. Which again is why the next Persona game, there needs to be a Persona game written by queer people, is what I'm getting at. But anti-status quo, which you can't have in P5. I never got that out of the game. The game spends so much time trying to tell you that the system won't save you, and that the system is designed to breed complacency, and then wants you to feel safe in it again. Like, what the fuck, game? But this isn't about P5. This is about Sylvain and Mercedes.
Mercedes, you're looking divine as always.
Good evening, Sylvain. Thank you for coming out to see
I do like how Mercedes
Just
is
the
one of
two
the
of us meeting
is one of
this
the people
time of
that
night?
immediately sees
You
through
move quicker
Sylvain's
than I
bullshit.
thought.
Like,
I don't know what
like,
Speed has to do
really
with it, but there was
agonizingly,
something I
piercingly,
wanted to
but
talk
like,
to you about.
Ah, okay.
I also do hate how Sylvain's supports are almost
I can
all
be
the
so
same.
forgetful at
They're all kind
times.
of variations
I
on like,
neglected to mention
oh,
this the other
I'm a
day.
playboy, but
I
I
meant
do
to
it
say,
because,
I
oh,
know you've
I've
been
got a
through
crest, so
lot
I'm just
inside.
as good, you know, that's all that's good for me in
Me?
romance. And it's
Your
like,
parents have placed a great deal of
okay,
pressure
I
on
get
you
it,
as
and
their
that might have been
daughter.
good for one angle,
And
but
it's
for
all
every
because
single
you
one
were
of your
born with
supports,
a
my dude.
crest. You've had to put up with such lofty expectations.
One of my favorites with him
All
is
of
the
the
one with
conventional
Bernadetta,
houses expect a lot of
because
their heirs.
it's about him
I'm no
really
different
liking
from any other
her
noble buyer,
her live
We've all
journal.
got responsibilities.
Can
Didn't
I
you
have some
mention
fuck?
that
Oh
your
no,
brother
insecurity.
envied you
Exactly.
enough to wish you did? I'm sure that wasn't easy.
Thinking about it, life
Ugh.
is probably a lot harder for my brother than it ever has been for me.
Didn't you also mention that women were only
Oh,
interested in
Mercedes.
having the, as you say, crest
Your
baby?
Why did
I'm very
hearing Mercedes
interested
say
in
the phrase crest
particulars,
baby
but
is something else.
I get the feeling that you don't care very much for these women who throw
By the way, we hit support number 10 at about half an hour
I'd
in.
appreciate it
So,
if maybe you kept that observation between the two of us.
Goodness gracious,
Your
this seems like we
secret's
might be
safe
here for
with
about
me.
3 hours or so. What?
I understand the pain you've had to carry.
I'm strapped in and
I
ready.
know you've got your share of bad memories
Crest
too,
baby is super.
but
It's really
That's
good.
why
I
you
like
feel
Crest baby.
comfortable letting your guard down around me. Come now. That's enough. With
Um,
a sad smile.
I think in this save file I gave the ring to
My sad smile
Mercedes,
really
so I
that
think
bad?
that's who we're gonna
did
wind
it
up
ruin my
getting the S
dashing
rank
good
with.
looks?
Not at all. You actually look more handsome to me with honesty on your face.
Aw, here come the waterworks.
Don't be ashamed of crying. I'm here to protect you. Will you protect me in return?
Who would play FNAF versus who would write FNAF
I will.
fanfics?
I promise.
That's really
No,
good.
Mercedes. You really are a
Okay.
special lady.
People who would write FNAF fanfics. Obviously Bernadetta. Like, writing fanfiction is half of what she does. Oh, Sylvain and Ingrid. This one's really good.
Hey Ingrid, how are you? I mean, what are you?
Because this is the one of the few ones where, like,
you know, off to train again?
No.
they're
I'm
just
headed to town to
friends,
buy
and that's all they're
supplies.
gonna be.
But I'll be training after that.
Because they've been friends for a
naturally.
while. So Ingrid's like,
Why?
I don't fucking give a shit
Oh,
about you, Sylvain.
I just thought you looked
I just need
serious
to
as
clean up
ever.
all your fucking
I
messes.
guess that part of you hasn't changed.
Of course it hasn't. I am as I ever was.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess you're right.
You're being weird. Have you always been this weird and I just never noticed?
No, I'm pretty sure. I don't think so. By the by, have you, fallen for anybody recently?
Don't be ridiculous. What do you even bump
Sylvain has a really
about?
good support with
Well,
like
Everyone's been talking
Flayn,
about
I
how you
think.
got really,
where Flayn's like,
pretty.
no, you will stay at
Just,
least 6 feet away from me
all of a
at all
sudden.
times. And I'm like,
Oh, you must be
thank you,
referring
Flayn.
to the
That is
makeup.
the proper way of
It's not a
dealing
big
with
deal or
Sylvain, is
anything,
keep
just
him at 6
experimenting.
feet away from you
I'm
at all
still
times.
learning. Did I mess something up?
Huh? No, I think it looks good. You did surprisingly well. I mean, considering that it's you.
Very funny. But
What
I
about
must
Dimitri,
say, I'm a
Felix,
bit
Ingrid, and Sylvain
surprised.
hanging out because they're all serious except
Unlike you
Sylvain?
to stumble
Sylvain
over
was
yourself
the
this much.
goofball
What?
who
No,
unfortunately
I'm
had
not.
the mistake of
I'm
making
just,
the goofball part his identity
curious about why.
as a person.
All of a
And
sudden.
then he's been coasting on that ever
Why,
since he
what?
doesn't know how
Why
to make a
weren't you
personality outside of making other
I'm
people
still
try to make
guessing
other
it's
people
for a
laugh.
guy. If I had to try and guess what sort of guy.
Social distancing,
suppose
exactly.
I'd
Social
say
distancing, except at all
Felix.
times, and for Sylvain
No,
only.
wait. I'm forgetting the royal line. Dimitri would be a way better catch.
Wow, way to make assumptions.
Is it one of the knights? If it's not them.
Well, unfortunately for me, I've now
Wait.
finished my first
could
hard
it be
cider,
me?
Don't make
and
me
we're only
hurt
about a
you.
fifth of the way through.
No need for violence. It was just a joke.
Welp.
I mean, it's not a joke that you're beautiful, but I wasn't trying to hit on you or anything. Promise.
Beautiful, huh?
Being hot and stupid is not a person. You know what? I don't want to be the one to tell you this, Mercury, because I know you've been making a good run out of it, but being hot and stupid is not a full personality. Sylvain and Dorothea. What the hell are these ones like? Gonna brew some coffee. Brew some for me, please.
Why am I so unlucky with women lately?
Oh, Sylvain,
And if you want to
what's
get
that
me a
face
coffee, you can
for?
do so at
Have you been dumped
ko-fi.com/2queersplay.
Isn't there an unwritten rule
Link
you
in the
shouldn't ask
description.
someone that?
I'm sorry.
If you want more
Thought
content
you
like
didn't
this, where
mind
we
being
watch
dumped.
cutscenes for 3 hours.
So your love life can get you down sometimes after all. Who knew?
I'm sad every time I break up with someone. It's just
It's at least a
I
decent
usually
chunk, though.
try
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
the
yeah.
one doing the breaking up. I've never had a hard
Such
time with
smooth chili.
girls.
Did you like that? I
Never.
worked it in naturally
Not
that
until
time. It was
recently.
very good.
But now when I think about it, I wonder what any of them even liked about me. It's not as if any of them knew much about me.
You dumb and thick
Yes.
smooth brain and no people.
Isn't that what a
smooth brain.
relationship is for? Learning about someone else?
I refuse to say that
Know it
sentence
all
out
right at the
loud.
start.
I asked you before if you would have invited me out if I was a peasant.
You did ask me that, yes.
That was wrong of me to say.
I feel like Dorothea is a much more interesting take
It's
on the
not
same
an
character as
excuse,
Sylvain.
but
Dorothea is very
I was so
openly
suspicious.
flirtatious and
I'm a
stuff, but
nobleman with a crest.
she also is like
Marriage
stating her
proposals
reasons up
don't
front,
stop
like
coming.
I'm here to marry well.
Everybody
I'm
wants
like,
me.
Cool,
Except
great.
they don't actually
Whereas
want
Sylvain
me
is
at
like,
all.
oh no,
want my
woe was
blood.
I have a crest.
Within my
Oh,
family
why
and
can't I find
family.
someone who loves me
It's
despite
always the
that?
same
And I'm like,
story.
because you're
Sometimes
an
I think that
asshole?
If I didn't have a crest, no one would look at me twice.
bring the Thembo rep.
And
Gotta
you're
get that big
probably
Thembo
right.
energy.
Honestly, I've had those same sort of thoughts myself.
Oh? What sort of thoughts might those be?
I sang, people cheered and applauded, and when I walked off stage, I'd find the same thing every night. A mountain of presents and marriage proposals.
Excuse me.
But none of those people knew me. All they knew was the singer they saw on the stage. All they wanted was my
Honestly,
looks
I want
and
an
voice.
ending where like
None of
Yuri,
them even
Dorothea, and
tried to get to
Manuela
know
all
me.
just form a like traveling musical troupe
Pretty
together.
Sure I've heard this somewhere.
We may come from different places, but we're much the same, wouldn't you
Tell
say?
me that wouldn't be great.
Yeah, I suppose we are. Look, Dorothea, I've realized something. Even if you were an old grandma, I'd still flirt with you. And I'd absolutely
Yeah,
win you over.
yeah, Sylvain.
Though, I'd much rather win you over now.
I love the one about
and be
Sylvain.
with you
Yeah,
instead
Dorothea
of
explains
becoming
parasocial
old
relationships.
grandma.
Absolutely.
That
I
might
do
be
love
the
the
most
one where
legitimately
Ingrid
romantic
calls
thing you've
Sylvain out
ever
for
said,
flirting with her
Sylvain.
grandmother when
And
Sylvain was
don't
like
say I
6, and
disagree.
Sylvain's response
I'd
was,
rather you
"Yeah, but
wouldn't
your
know
grandmother was a real."
so
Okay,
that
that's
I
not the
can
point.
stay by your side until you're an old grandpa.
The band ending sounds
Well,
alright.
Before any
Yeah.
of that, will you go to dinner with me?
I'd be happy to.
Good for them. Good for them. Oh, who else we got here? Sylvain and Lysithea.
Sylvain, I've been looking for you. Do you have a moment?
Hey, Lysithea. I was about to grab some food.
Sylvain
Would
Gilf.
you like to come along?
Actually, yes. That sounds fine.
Great. Let's go. The dining hall isn't exactly relaxing, is it? If there's a next time, I'll take you somewhere with a much better atmosphere.
Oh my god. See, the thing is, if Sylvain could open his mouth and be friendly without sounding like he was trying to flirt with people,
Nah,
it would be
I did
one
what you
thing.
told me
But the
off.
problem is there's
nothing you
there's
can do
no
about it,
difference
that's all.
between Sylvain being flirtatious
Can you just
and
shut your
Sylvain
mouth
being
and
honest
listen
with
for
people.
once? Here's something you may have already picked up on. I very much dislike being treated like a child. I've worked very hard to
I
be
do
where I
have
am
bad
now,
news. I
but
think
such
we're gonna
treatment
get
makes it
Cyril
feel
and
all that
Lysithea
worth
ending in
being
this one.
ignored.
But I think you're a genius. And you work harder than I ever did. When I was your age,
Yes, you already told me all of this. Back then, you were just as devoted
But seriously, he
to
was
goofing
6.
off as
I
you are
think she
now.
was using it more to make a point about his
so I
general
already told you
character than
this.
being mad about
What a
that
perfect
specifically.
memory
But
you have.
And there it is. You're always so quick to flatter every woman you come across. I knew that, and yet I never thought you would direct your antics at
do we
me.
get to see green-haired Morgana?
Look,
Um,
I'm sorry, okay?
I don't think
I
we
know how
do.
hard you work, and
I don't
really
think we
wasn't trying
do.
to
She's
upset
out of the
you.
game at this point,
just
and I
wanted to
didn't
chat.
choose to S rank
I
with
do
her,
not mind
so
that you wished
we
to
have no
chat with
green-haired
me.
Morgana. I am
In
sorry.
fact, you might even say I was happy about it.
I did
Just
do the S rank with her at one point,
Seriously?
which
It sure
is
did seem
weirdly like a good
well,
S rank
It's true.
because it's mostly
Your
about
behavior
Byleth
is
coming to terms and
maddening.
loving themselves, and
But
I'm
in
like, oh,
retrospect, I
that's kind of
realized
nice.
That was you treating me as you do all women, rather than like a
And the fact that
child.
Sothis is there is kind of
I
like
wasn't thinking
secondary.
about it
But
like that at the time, and so I snapped at you. I could have
okay, here we go.
perhaps approached the matter with a tad
Controversial
more maturity.
opinion time.
Therefore,
Which
I would
characters
like to apologize.
should have gay S ranks
That's
that
not how
don't?
these conversations usually turn out. There's no need for that, though. Really.
Actually, you know
Maybe
what?
people
Better
should keep
question.
this up.
Are there
Listen,
characters that
Lysithea,
shouldn't have S
I want you
ranks?
to know that I meant every word, even if sincerity is difficult for me. You're as lovely as you are clever, and you have this strange charm about you. That's what I really honestly think.
There you go again with your false flattery.
I swear to you, it isn't false at all. And it's not flattery if it's the
God
truth.
damn it, Sylvain. Why can't you just say like
what you will,
one fucking
you're
word?
still gonna have to earn
Claude
my
is the obvious
trust.
one. Claude absolutely
Just this
should be
once,
bi.
I'll cut you
And I
some
don't know
slack.
why he isn't.
Don't get used
He
to
is
it.
like,
It's not like I can
oh.
change who you are as a person.
part of me thinks that's why
Sweet
Yuri.
and tolerant. You never cease to amaze.
Some characters are
I'll leave you
some
with
characters
this.
are too old.
Don't
Some
say
characters are
things you don't
much
mean.
older than the people
It
that they
makes it
can
impossible to tell
that they
lies
can
from the
support
truth.
with, and it's
Don't
really
come crying
creepy.
to me if you
All
carry
characters should be
on
gay.
as you have and end
All
with your
characters
friends.
shouldn't be gay because we have to remember straights
I have
exist
to
and
say,
straights are
Lysithea,
valid as
your
well.
harshness is one of those things I find so charming about you.
You are exhausting. I guess the positivity is okay, though.
Time for Sylvain and Hilda.
Hilda, lovely as ever. I
Hilda,
swear
the
if
favorite
we were
character
around,
of everyone
the
who
sun
hasn't
shines
actually played
brighter
the
and
game.
Everything sparkles.
Sylvain, you're looking superb as always.
Thank you. Are you going out?
Because they can't have the poor player not be able to have a straight relationship with every character. Yeah, that's exactly it, Reina.
You might hurt your foot.
It's like
My foot?
there's this weird entitlement that as the main character you should be able to romance everyone, which
No need to worry.
on the one
foot's
hand,
fine
I
now.
get it from a
Even
game design
better than it was
standpoint. It's
before.
about
I
like you're the
noticed, you know,
character, right?
since I'm
You
always
want to
looking
be
at two
and
girls,
you know,
you are one of the
to a
two
degree the
girls.
world is designed for
Your
for
foot
you to
was
play
better
around
than
in.
battle. You
To
were
that
all over,
extent, I
just a
kind of get
regular warrior
wanting to have every
princess.
option open to the main
Less than a
character.
day after
On the other
seeing
hand, it
you
makes the other
in
characters have less and less of an
My
identity
friends were depending on me.
if, you
So
know,
I
all of
just
them
had
can
to
be
fight
somehow
through the
swayed by
pain.
the professor.
Hilda, please don't lie to me. I knew your foot wasn't really hurt.
It's like,
but I
how
returned
come
your
none of
looks
them are just
Take it
straight
from
up
a guy
gay?
who does his fair share of pretending to be someone he's not. And I
The
say
video
this
game
as a
designer,
friend.
yeah.
You are a
But if you
terrible
wanted to
liar.
follow that
And those
train of
books you
thought
were
through to
reading
its
for so
logical
long,
conclusion, then
teachers in
why
classes
isn't every
needed
character
those.
bi?
So stop
Why
lying.
can't I romance
Stop
every
being quite
character as
selfish,
female
too.
Byleth? Right?
You saw right
Like, if
through
they
me.
really believed in that
Honestly,
line
I'd
of reasoning,
completely
then
forgotten that I still had those
every
books.
character should be bi.
I really was going to return
But
them.
and open to S
Did
ranking.
the librarian say anything to you?
Oh yeah. I got an earful of yelling and accusations.
Honestly, romance
meant
is a
for
really
you.
weird thing in video games because
Didn't you just say it was my fault?
there's
Nah, I figured the
there's
librarian
something to
would
be
feel
said
better
for
if they just
giving the
let things
characters
slip.
enough
No
agency
reason to
that
make
they
them wait
don't
for
need
you.
to be
I'm
like
so
romanceable, because it's
sorry.
kind of
That
creepy
tongue-lashing that
in a
should've
way to
been
be like,
directed
oh,
at
every
me.
character is here to be
Tell you
romanced
what,
by me.
All will be forgiven if you
Yeah,
promise
it's a
three
video game
things.
thing, but
Stop
like
lying.
there's still a conversation to be
responsibility,
had about that.
and fall madly in love with me.
Yes, can we also have a character be yes, I'm gay, but not interested in you? Exactly. How come there are no characters who aren't interested in Byleth?
I wouldn't want you for a husband.
What? Why not?
Although some of the S ranks that are supposedly gay are like that, where
I can't
as
your niceness is somehow-
as Gyleth, male Byleth, you can
My
S rank
brother would probably
Alois,
cut you
and then
into
he's like,
pieces the moment you
oh,
saw your face.
yeah, let me introduce you to my wife.
sounds
Also, let me introduce you to this lady who can be your wife. It's like,
We're losing the thread a bit here.
every character's attracted to me. Yeah, exactly.
Evidently, you can see
I
through
think
that.
I
So,
understand the
I'll
impulse
just
for
be
that, but I think it
straightforward
would be
about
better if
taking
games
advantage of
didn't
you.
design around that, because
Well, I'll take what I
not
can
every
get.
character is going to be
Just don't
interested
go
in the main
causing trouble
character,
for guys who
and not
won't.
every character should be romantically
deal.
interested in the main
Goodbye for now,
character.
Sylvain.
Sylvain, who you gonna flirt with? Sylvain and Manuela. Nice.
I must admit that Sylvain is quite handsome. And it
Oh,
doesn't
I love
hurt that he's
Manuela.
heir to
Such a
noble
fucking
family.
disaster. How come Manuela isn't
Get
bi?
used to that
That's the
kind
one
of
that gets
life.
me.
The
Some of the
age
characters have S
difference
supports with both
bothers
male
me,
and female characters that seem
but I'm
romantic
sure
but
it
can't
will be
be romanced by
fine after a
Byleth.
few years.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
first, it was hard to imagine myself with him. But
Which
now
I
that I've
actually
thought
think is
about it,
fine, Bex. That's a really good point.
speak
Because
of
like
the devil.
I think it makes sense that
Think it's him
Catherine
over
would be
there.
romantically interested in Shamir after a time,
Jerk. He was
because the
playing
two of
around
them
with
spend
me
so
the
much
whole
time together that I can see that
You know,
happening.
you're a good
But
catch.
also, in general,
It's a
might
shame
not
that you've
think
had
of
no luck
female
with men.
Byleth as a romantic
You
partner.
need a guy like me, somebody who
Like
sees your
that makes
beauty
sense.
and appreciates how tender you are, emotionally, and how much love you have to give.
Game Center are romancing, I should say.
No
Yeah.
way. What are you saying? Can't even tell if you're being honest.
Sylvain and Felix
Do
is
I
good.
look
Yeah,
dishonest?
exactly.
Are these the
Yeah,
eyes
yeah.
of a
Sylvain
guy
and Felix
who's
is another good one
disappointed?
where like the two characters have that
No,
particular chemistry that together could be like,
suppose
oh
not.
shit, might we
Would
be
you like
gay
to
for
go
each other, but
somewhere
not
a
in
little
general.
more
And I
quiet?
get that.
As long as
The
it's
problem
just
is
the
that,
two of us,
as
and the
I
only
think
subject
Raina
is
put it
love,
earlier,
I'll follow you anywhere.
the game kind of takes this cheaty middle ground where it lets you,
That was just
where it's like, oh, every character should be straight
He's
romanceable,
insincerity
which
personified. No way I'd ever fall for that.
doesn't really help its
He is
point.
Handsome.
And for
that's come
escapism,
from
not a
good
reminder of a
start.
real existence for everyone else.
No, I can't imagine
Thanks,
we'd have a
Mercury.
bright future
I know
together.
you're
I
I know you're
suppose
trying
the
hard for
goddess
us.
does not
I appreciate
give
it.
with both hands, does she? Wait, could that mean because of my looks and my singing voice?
Some characters who were gay with we were talking about this earlier, and I think if you were to do the best version of this is that give each character their own sexuality, or like sit down and figure out like what characters would it make sense for Byleth to be able to S rank with, right? Either go the whole route and make everyone open and say it's just to maximize player choice, which I don't agree, but I respect it, or make it intentional which ones are romantic options. You know, Mercedes and Lorenz. Ugh.
Mercedes, I have heard that you are the daughter.
Having
of
watched a
Imperial
ton of Lorenz
nobility.
supports now,
Is that
I
the case?
don't get his appeal.
It is.
Because there's only
And you
bi
have
or
a
straight
crest as
characters and
well.
nothing else.
Is that not so?
That's another good
Again,
point, is that there's no character that feels like
Why did you not tell
where
me?
it's
I was under the impression you were a commoner.
I didn't mean to hide it from you, but you
there's no
never
character where it
asked.
feels like they're bi. It's like they
Besides,
just
I
kind of
am
get
considered
remembered as
common
the
now.
gay option
I don't care to flaunt my noble past or my crest. I have no
because of the
desire
way
to
that
return to that status.
Fire Emblem Three Houses
If I may
conflates
speak
being gay with being
hypothetically a
bisexual.
Does that
Lorenz
mean that if
Lorenz
a
is such a
nobleman were
douche.
to offer
He's
you
such a
this in
llama
marriage,
douche man.
you
I
would
hate him.
decline?
Not at all. That's a separate matter entirely. Even if I were to fall in love,
Explicitly
regardless
bi.
of my social
Yes,
status.
Dorothea is the one that
I'm
feels
not
like she
looking
is
to marry right
explicitly
now.
set up to be bisexual, and that's
what a
and
relief.
like that's a main
Forgive my
part of her
rudeness.
character.
I am merely
That
envious of
is
your
very well
flexible
written for her
outlook.
to be
It is a
bisexual.
posture that I might
Absolutely.
very well adopt.
Whereas the other bi
Thank
options are
you
mostly
for every
just
word, of course.
You mean in terms of loving?
kind of afterthoughts in a weird way.
Precisely. Status should be no impediment to love.
But if you marry a woman who isn't a noble,
I don't know. Like
then
again, they
haven't you
flirted
looked
with
at your
like the
duty?
possibilities with
But not
having
exactly,
certain characters
no.
turn out to be gay
What
in
I think is that
certain
my
of their
marriage must
endings with
benefit
other
House
characters,
Gloucester.
and I'm like, that makes
So long
sense.
as that holds true, the
God.
bloodline of my partner is
I think we can all agree the problem at the end of the
For
day
instance,
is
if
that
she
the
were
romance
oppressed,
options were designed
was at
by
one
straight
time
people
considered
for
noble.
straight people.
Well, now that doesn't sound flexible at all. How can you know if someone will benefit your
God.
family? Would you
I fucking hate
investigate
this
her
llama
before
man.
allowing yourself feelings?
Ugh.
That doesn't sound very noble of you.
That is not what I...
I'm sorry, Lawrence. I was only teasing. I'm sure your lack of tact is what women find so irresistible.
Look at his fucking armor.
Come again?
Oh,
All
nothing
like
at all.
gold and gilt
I
leaf
hope
on
you
it.
do
It's like,
the family
come on,
proud
buddy.
and fulfill your duty.
Yes, I most certainly
And I also
will.
hate how a lot of Lawrence's supports are about him, are about people confronting him about his misplaced ideas about what it means to be a noble, and then most of them turn out in the end to be like, oh, I understand what your idea of nobility is now. I respect that. Maybe you're right, Lawrence. It's like, no. No, he's not. Mercedes and Ignatz.
Are you praying, Ignatz? Are you concerned about something?
A little. I'm coming to accept that I will never be an artist. I'm self-taught, so my style and technique are probably all wrong. I don't know what I'm doing.
Dude, just
Besides, how could I persuade my father?
set up your Patreon, start streaming your drawings on Twitch,
Disown
you know.
me.
Get
It
that
takes courage to
audience.
stray from the path that has been set out for you. It's never easy. I'm in a similar position. I've been carrying out my adoptive father's wishes up until this point. But it's never a bad thing to have dreams. That's how
Mercedes.
I feel, at least. I can't imagine
Make
a
sure you
life
have
in which
dreams.
I've given up on my dreams.
Don't let your memes be
How
dreams.
can anyone find happiness in that? Even with your father's demands, you can still work toward one small dream at a time.
You know, I suppose you're right. My dream of being an artist gives me the energy to go
Lawrence is
on.
like Felix if he was a
You're
dick in a
really
different
wise,
way.
Mercedes.
Had a less interesting conflict, but
goodness.
also occasionally said some really
That's not
insightful
how
things.
most people
That's the thing that
describe
gets me
me.
out Lorenz,
I
is that
just
Lorenz
don't
on
want you to give
occasion
up
will
on
say
your
something
art.
very insightful
Besides,
and then fail to learn
I
anything from it.
genuinely do want to see your painting
He has a
with
deviant
eyes.
art and draws furry porn.
Really? I'm pleased to hear you
Poor
say so.
Ignatz, he absolutely
You said you're
does.
in the same position as I am. What did you mean by that?
My future has been decided for me as well.
Oh no, that's a
I'm
whole
to
new
be
can of
married off
worms.
to a nobleman.
What are the characters' personas in Fire Emblem Three Houses?
Is it really that surprising? I think many young women face the same fate.
So, will you get married?
I suppose I haven't given it much thought.
Getting
Whatever
through,
may
didn't show on
happen,
YT. I'm
I'm
sorry,
sure
Mercury.
everything will work out
Ingrid
in
just
the end if I don't give up on my
Ingrid
dreams.
is absolutely just commissioning her persona from Ignatz at all times.
Mercedes, you're amazing. I think that whatever you do, wherever you go, you'll help a lot of people. You're so kind. I know you can... Oh,
What's wrong, Ignatz? You have a strange look on your face.
for my whole life I've wanted to paint the goddess, but I never could. Whatever shape I gave her,
YouTube
she
is
never seemed
gaslighting
quite
Mercury.
right.
I'm sorry.
But it's just come to me.
It's wonderful how inspiration
Mercury,
can
which
strike so
comment?
suddenly.
I'm sorry.
Paint before you lose
Pixel
it.
art looks great. Yes,
I
it does,
will.
Carlos.
Will you help
Looks
me?
phenomenal.
I'd be happy to help, but I'm not sure what I can do.
Don't you see? The goddess I imagined and tried to paint so many times. She
Oh,
was you.
Ignatz, no.
I
You
have to get
creep,
my
no.
supplies. Stay right there.
I like how in Ignatz's and Raphael's ending, Ignatz gets together with Raphael's sister because
That must be similar to sin. I'll say an
Ignatz's
extra
haircut
prayer
makes me
for
think
him.
he is gay and overtly homophobic. Yes. The furry one. Didn't even show on stream. Oh no! I did see it where he has to draw furry porn. I did see that one though. Yeah, he has a bit of a turf cut. Oof. Sorry, Ignatz. Alright, let's see Annette and Linhart. Ugh. Anytime Linhart shows up, it's just instant cringe.
There's nothing like a morning stroll to take in the fresh air. Hmm? In the thicket there, is that a human foot? Ah! It moved! Someone help!
Alright, at the pace we're going, it looks like we're getting about one every 3 minutes or so. So we'll probably be here for about 3 hours doing these.
You shouldn't surprise people like that. I thought you were an undead corpse. Why are you sleeping out here anyway? We're in the middle of a war.
We're in the middle of a war, but don't worry about it, Annette. Conflict only happens at the end of the month. Didn't you know? Centrist turf specifically? Oh no.
Stop joking around. What are you even
Centrist
talking
turf,
about?
but still. Oh no. Yeah.
He is quite
Ooh.
unstoppable. Or perhaps you know his weakness?
You really never change, do you?
God, remember at the point in time where Linhart was the only gay male option?
Remember what I told you?
You told me something?
Hope you like your obnoxious sleepy boy.
Of course you don't. I told you that putting in effort
Is how you grow. Is that the one?
So
God, why is Linhart so fucking obnoxious?
Should I not have remembered?
No,
Here's one thing I think why I dislike Linhart so much is that he never gets his comeuppance. He's just very
The truth is,
sleepy. He's always very like very smugly satisfied with himself and his knowledge, and no one ever kind of like takes him to task over it.
Do you not get the urge
This really
to
is
work hard
P5.
for
It
other
absolutely is
people?
P5.
Like when you helped me before?
Not as such. Why would
It's
I
like
give you that
he's
effort?
always just
For
like
what gain?
thinks he's so much smarter than everyone else, and like ugh.
That it helps
Think
you
like him because you
grow
read him as
a
autistic.
person.
That's an interesting reading of him, Bex. I hadn't actually thought of that.
Hard for my sake. For example, waking me up today.
Oh,
And
Linhart
I
on the spectrum.
suppose
I can
will
see
try to
that.
do a little bit more for you too.
Actually, you
I
know
find
what? That's a
working
really
for
good
others to be
interpretation. I
annoying.
need to take a moment to
Yet I
like
wish to
consider
make an
that.
exception for you.
Because
I
like
hope that's all
oh,
right.
I like that characterization.
Just for me?
Indeed.
Ooh.
You're the only person
I might have a new
bother
headcanon.
helping. I could wear myself out helping you. Forever, maybe. What about it? I'll be there for you, and you can be there for me.
You like obnoxious sleepy
What
boys?
do
That's
you
kind.
mean by that?
I agree with Mercury. That is a little gay.
If we're doing our best for each other and all, then that's just a bit like, just kind of like a marriage.
Huh. You know, I feel as if you might be able to wake me up every morning. No small feat, that.
God damn it, Lynn.
As though I would marry a man who can't even get up in the morning.
All right, what else is next? Annette and Caspar.
Hey, Caspar. Can I ask you something?
Well, hey there, Annette.
Crest feels
What's
like a
on your mind?
how blunt and somewhat not
Is there
understanding of social
anything
norms
you
makes
pay
you read him like
particular
that, and how its
attention to on the
crests are
battlefield?
hyperfixation. Yeah, I
Stuff
can
you
definitely
make
see
sure
that.
Not to mess up. I don't want to
That definitely is a better reading of some of his
So I've been
characteristics.
thinking about how I can improve.
Problem is the game doesn't like
But it's
the
trickier than I
game
thought.
doesn't go
I
with
was
that
hoping you
interpretation,
could
so
give me
some of the
some
times it's just him being an asshole.
Nothing I can think of. Sometimes you just gotta mess up.
It's Yusuke from P5, but sleepy instead of
Really?
artsy.
Nothing at all?
Nah, no matter how much you prepare, you're always
I
gonna
can
make
see that.
mistakes.
Linhart walking around with a couple of lobsters he found.
I guess that does sound like something you'd say. But I'm not sure how much use it is to me.
Actually, now the more I think about it,
That's too bad.
the more I want
it's a great
that.
way to live. You worry about messing up, and all that worry makes you nervous, right? So being nervous on the battlefield is the reason you make
But
mistakes
Professor,
you'd
these
never make
lobsters
in
are
training.
important for my crest research.
Well, yes. People's lives are on the
Definitely not
line.
he was intended to be
If
written.
I
Yeah,
mess up,
exactly.
They might actually die. When I think that my failures might put everyone in danger,
Ugh, you gotta quit doubting yourself. It's not helping. You're obsessing about failures that
We've
haven't
hit number
even
20,
happened.
and we are
What's
at
the
1
point in
p.m.
that?
my time.
Sometimes you're gonna mess up no matter how hard you train.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
life.
so about 3 hours or so.
so what you're
Not bad.
saying is I should stop being afraid of failure and just try my hardest on the battlefield, like I do in training.
Was I not clear?
When you
on
have
that?
social anxieties, you
You
can't
just gotta
so
deal
you
with
can't
your
tell if
mistakes
someone
when
has
you make
social
them.
anxieties or is an asshole. Yeah, exactly.
That really is just like you, Caspar. I'm starting to feel stupid for worrying so much. You're so strong and confident. I really like that about you.
Aw, thanks, Annette. I think you're great too.
Okay, I'm gonna try following your example from now on.
Ah,
It's time I stopped moping around here and put everything I've got
Why not
into
both?
training.
I both have social anxiety as am an
That's the
asshole.
spirit.
Exactly.
Let's get out there and train. I'll race you to the stables.
That's like half of what I do. I like Annette. Annette's got some very good supports. I like the ones where she's like tripping over shit. All right. Almost out of blue lions. Ingrid pulling up the rear. Who do we have supports with? Raphael and Ignatz.
Eating? In the dining hall. You?
What do you mean? The dining hall's where I do most of my eating.
The dining hall is where I do most of my eating. Thanks, Raphael.
It seems to me you've taken more care with your appearance of late, too. For once, you aren't covered in gravy and oil from head to toe. I'm impressed.
Of course not, Ingrid. A proper night has to be neat and tidy.
All right, what have you done with Raphael?
It's all thanks to you. You said I had to clean up if I wanted
I
to be
love
nice.
the one
So
support.
started
I don't know
being
if we'll get
more
to see it. The one support that
think I have what it
Raphael
takes
has
to-
with Shamir, where Raphael learns
You've
how to be
certainly
stealthy.
become more knightly than before. But there's plenty yet to do to become a proper knight. It's not as simple as eating where you're meant to and not being covered in
Ingrid,
gravy.
stop being such an asshole.
Maybe I'd have a better chance if I just married you.
What does that have to do with anything?
You're real cultured, that's all. You already taught me to be neat and tidy.
Okay, so real headcanon
Teach
here.
me a lot more
Raphael
about being a
definitely
proper
strikes me
knight
as
if I always
asexual.
had you around.
That would be
He's
quite
definitely
the
ace.
undertaking for me. Listen,
Cares about
Raphael,
eating and training.
it's
Everything
sweet of you.
else,
However,
nah.
as I've said before,
Don't like the
no
support probably because I don't like
intention
Ingrid.
to
That's fair.
marry. Let's cast aside
Ingrid's
this
supports
talk
are
marriage,
very
and
don't do
instead
her
indulge
much
in one
help
another
in
to be
making
the
her
best
likable.
knights we can be.
She really is
You're
just.
Probably a better idea to just
She
involve
really got the
each
short
other
end of the
instead.
stick of the
As
characterizations
long
in
as
this
I still
game.
get your help with becoming a proper knight.
While you're working to be more proper, I'll be working to strengthen myself, that I might become a greater
It's
knight
unfortunate
than
because
you.
a lot of Raphael's supports are very good.
I don't know about
Because
that.
Raphael is just
I'm
very
pretty tough.
extra in general.
But I guess if anyone could
Like
beat you, it'd probably
his support
be
with
you,
Flame
Ingrid.
is very good.
Guaranteed.
Thank you, Raphael.
I mean, ignoring her support with the
That
dude, you
means
don't
a
like her
lot to me.
personality in the slightest. Yeah, they didn't highlight the interesting parts of her character very well at all. Like, she is easily one of my least favorite characters in this game, and that's saying a lot. Ingrid with Ignatz. So how's that painting of my persona coming, Ignatz?
Always diligently working on your craft.
Man, square-jawed Krong,
How long were you
exactly.
standing there?
Only
We all
just
love
now.
our big Thembo Raphael.
Is that the new painting you were mentioning? You sounded especially inspired about this one. May I see?
No. I mean, the painting's not ready yet.
Yeah, so we're
I
getting
don't want
one every
anyone
3
to
minutes
see
or
it
so.
before
That's not
it's
too bad.
finished.
But we had spoken about how much your perspective can broaden when you let other people in on your work. Had a change of heart?
It's not that.
Ignatz, are you
It's
painting Ingrid?
Embarrassing is all.
Ignatz, did you paint Ingrid?
Come on. You know you don't need to feel
Ignatz,
embarrassed
answer
about
me.
it. Please show me.
All right. Just for a second.
This one is even more beautiful than the
Your
last.
persona isn't
A knight
horny
in
enough yet?
shimmering armor
Yeah.
Fighting in all her glory. That lance looks a lot like mine. And the armor. And the horse. Ignatz? Is that?
Ignatz.
Yes.
Ignatz is weird.
It's you.
The woman in this image. She's so powerful and
Ignatz can't help but be
Ah.
weird.
regal. So elegant and refined, but with such a soft air, despite the armor and weaponry.
Ignatz is like the
That's
personification
how I
of like
see
the harmful
Remind me
friendly
of
nerd
Saint
trope.
Stars.
Ignatz, okay,
Brave,
hear me out.
vibrant,
Ignatz,
and
probably an
powerful, yet
incel.
Kind and gentle. Sorry, was that too much? That was too much.
Thank you, Ignatz.
Goes on all the
I'm
time about
deeply
how he's
touched.
just trying to be a good friend for all of his friends, but he never gets
Also
anything in return.
embarrassed.
I'm feeling a little
'Cause
embarrassed
for
myself.
Really, I'm so
Ingrid's
now I
persona
really
has a
need to live up
YouTube
to
channel
all the
where all of her
previous
the
emphasis.
thumbnails are her
Please
posing,
show it to me
kind of
once
with
it's
like
finished.
looking like she's
I will.
considering something,
I
with
promise.
one arm gesturing to whatever the
Though I
topic of the
don't
video
think I'll
is.
show it to anyone else.
Or on his way to becoming one. He is yeah, he's close to it. Ignoring all supports and only paying attention to Raphael's and ignoring his ending with Raphael and headcanon him as gay. That is fair. That is absolutely fair, Bex. She has a racist rant. That's it, Raina. She absolutely does. Hey, everyone. It's the meme character. The other meme no, not that meme character. The other meme character.
Even with the fires of war raging all around us, tea never fails to soothe the soul.
Also, if you want to learn something that'll absolutely ruin support conversations for you, you'll notice that all of the support conversations take place in a weird cylinder.
What's that?
It's always just the two characters kind of standing on nothing, surrounded by a weird cylinder with a PNG on it, which is why the backgrounds never look just right, and there's always weird corners where they had to, you know, kind of fudge it to make it work. It's because it's just a cylinder with a PNG on it, and you just got two character models in the middle of it. That's all it is.
See that? She does sound pretty
Profile pic is now updated here. Oh, hey, Wheel Baron. Nice updated profile pic.
That girl was you, Bernadette.
Weird stretchy JPEG. Exactly.
What?
And also, none of them have any sitting animations. So whenever they're supposedly sitting, it's just them standing, like, but lower on the camera. It's very, very weird.
Maybe I should not have brought this up.
Why not? Carnivorous plants are adorable.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Barney. Carnivorous plants are very adorable.
Anyway,
God, I really want to like Bernadetta's time skip design, but I just, what is going on in the back of her head there?
Now that I have gotten to know you, I would have been happy to.
So, you're saying you'd with me?
I liked her hair better when it was messy, and I think that said more to her character. And having it kind of like this in her post time skip design is like, eh. And they gave her a weird, like, very skin-tight dress, too, that's got a lot of absolute territory going on, and it's like, that's not what Bernadetta's like. Bernadetta doesn't want people paying attention to her.
So any agreements they might have cooked up would be completely invalid.
I guess so.
Just think, if we had
Gay TikToker hair, she did it herself.
Nice.
Bernadetta, her best.
Yeah. We never would have gotten this close. I would have given up on the relationship my parents chose for me and shut myself away even more.
See, imagine time skip Bernie, but instead she's got like whatever the Fire Emblem equivalent of baggy pants and a hoodie is.
Sorry. I am just glad to have met
Bernadetta in place of Bayonetta. Oh my God, Bernadetta. But in okay, I need a Bayonetta mod that's just Bernadetta now.
See you.
Actually, that would just be her. She would just kind of play like Linkle from Hyrule Warriors, wouldn't she? Crossbow Bayonetta. Time skip Bernie Sanders. Every Bernie Sanders is time skip Bernie Sanders. Have you seen how old that guy is? God. Love him to death. But we definitely need to stop relying on him as our only go-to center-left human being. And I mean like true center-left, not American center-left, like actual center-left.
But you're right. I'd hardly call myself devout. After all, it was thanks to the goddess and her noble regime that I suffered so much as a child.
You must be quite brave to speak so coarsely in this hallowed place. But what do you mean about suffering as a child?
Ferdinand von Ayer has not yet said the line, "I am Ferdinand von Ayer," and I'm
sure you already know
I feel like that is...
I grew up in the alleys of Enbar, begging for coins, eating scraps, drinking from
Forgot to adjust the counter.
I see. I remember seeing street children around the city.
I could have died. Then the right person overheard me singing. And suddenly I was in the opera. I was a songstress. And my goodness, did the nobles like me. The people who used to spit on me and call me an urchin, they praised my voice and my beauty. A nobleman who once kicked me gave me the most gorgeous shoes. I almost asked if it was a joke.
So that is why you despise the nobility.
This is your favorite support backs? Interesting. Interesting pick.
Do you really believe that is the kind of man I am? You think I would ever treat people differently?
Where
based on
Ferdinand is a bee?
appearances? There is nothing noble about that.
Oh,
Revelations
really?
is on Aria Revelations is on
something
sale.
different.
Nice.
That's not how I
Not a big
remember it.
Resident Evil fan, but
It was
like
the
I
very
get the
day
appeal.
that I was discovered. I was in high spirits. Nothing was wrong in the world.
90s D&D
secretly
art or
lived
straight
in
up
one of the
accurate Middle
town's
Ages would have been
homes,
better.
hoping
Yeah.
to wash off some of the dirt from the streets.
I think the problem is
Sang
that they're
the
trying to
same
like
song the opera
dress
composer
characters for a
overheard
whole
earlier
bunch
that
of different
day.
scenarios, but
And
they're
that's
all
why
at
you
war,
were
so it doesn't really, none of it really lands, you know?
It
Like
could not have
Dorothea, she's dressed like she's meant to be at the opera right now,
You glared
but
at
she's
me
not.
with
She's
the
at
same
war,
look I
so it
got
doesn't
from
really
every other
land.
girl. Then you ran off. When we met at the academy, you were a different person.
Ferdy and Dorothea
Smiles
together?
and friendly words.
Yeah,
Like a bee, Ferdinand.
it's not my favorite, but I'll allow
Be
it.
attracted to a flower
I like her and
full of
Petra.
So it
That's
was
my
you
personal
then,
headcanon.
singing that
But then
song.
again, all of Petra's supports are just
Dorothea, please
great.
listen. This
Petra
is a
probably has some of the
misunderstanding.
like the best
When I
overall
saw you,
supports in this game.
I could not take my eyes off you. I was hypnotized. Your beautiful voice, your elegant face, droplets of water on your
Feel
skin
too anime in a
glittering
bad way.
sun.
Yeah,
thought you
it's
were
all.
the
It's like
one
they're a
who-
little bit too over elaborate,
Don't lie to
which
me.
kind of makes sense for some of the people like
No,
Lorenz,
it
who
is
is way
true.
more about like
I was
appearance
only a
than actual
child.
functionality.
The
But
vision overwhelmed me.
yeah,
That
I don't
is
know.
why I ran. I
Also,
felt
part
the
of it's like
courage
it's a
to
video
return.
game, so it's
No
okay
one
if they
was
have a little
there.
bit of fancier outfits
I
because
thought
you know they're meant to be
perhaps it was
characters that are
true.
memorable and stick in your head. She's really cute with Petra too. I know everyone is. Oh my
Maybe
gosh,
I can believe you.
I can't wait till we get to some of
I've
the
wanted
Petra
to
ones here.
Ever since the day you made me those treats. I thought then that maybe
The Lord outfits all at least work.
weren't like
They
the
do. I
others.
don't like the weird side capes on their student
There's a
uniforms,
lot
but
I
I
have to
get that
let
it's
go.
kind of like a thing at Garrick Mock,
course.
so whatever.
I am glad we had this
Um,
conversation. You know,
But
I do not mind
like,
you thinking of me as
damn.
weak. Life as a simple drone.
Their
suffering
time
pain.
skip outfits
It
are all
actually
very
sounds quite
good.
wonderful.
Claude looks like put together, but in a very
All
messy
drones
way.
keep the queen
Edelgard
safe
looks
from other
perfectly
bugs.
fucking regal, like she will.
I like the
And
sound
then
of that.
Dimitri looks like he just crawled out of a hole somewhere. Ferdinand and Petra, excellent.
Ferdinand.
Huh? Ah, Petra. Is there something I can help you with?
No, I am not needing help. I was just thinking that you look...
He did exactly, Raina. Exactly.
Lonely?
He
In
absolutely
wartime?
did.
Hardly. I am too
Put
busy
together in a
trying to
messy way.
survive to
What?
feel
Just
lonely.
look at Claude's time
Once
skip
we
design.
have
You'll know what I mean.
survived, what will you do with yourself, Petra? Return to your home? As an Imperial hostage, you would be freed if the Empire were to fall.
Yes. My plan is to be returning home. But if Bridget and Fodlan can be friendly, I will be able to have visits whenever I choose. Maybe it is even possible for me to be living in Fodlan.
Live in Fodlan? Do you not want to go back to your homeland?
I do have the hope of returning one day. But Fodlan
Much
is
more
also
casual than the other
homeland
lords,
to
but
me
rather,
now.
you know what? That's a
I
better way of
came to
putting it,
Fodlan
Bex. It's
9
more
years ago.
casual. It's not
I have been
messy. It's
living half of
casual.
my
That's
life
a
here.
much better way of putting
My
the
family is living
like
in
what I was
Bridget,
trying to get at. Oh
but
shit!
in Fodlan, I have new family and new friends.
New family.
Y'all gotta yell at me when I forget to
I am
update
glad
the
to hear
support
you
counter.
Feel that way about us, Petra. In that case, we will have to make sure that none
If
of
it doesn't
us
say
die.
63 when
We
we're
do not
done,
want
I'm
to
gonna
lose
feel like a
anyone in the
failure.
family.
Yes, we will be winning, and you will not be dying.
Ha! Do not worry. I do not
Uh,
intend to die.
To wit, I
I have
counted
some
that number
things to
by
do when the
hand,
war is
so
over.
if I fucked something up,
Things?
that's on me.
Yes, you and I can be the link between Fodlan and Bridget.
Oh,
Why are we doing this, BTW?
Okay,
Oh, you missed
I
the
have to
explanation at the
confess,
very beginning.
I fibbed a little.
No, at the very
About
beginning of the
not
stream, I
being
did an
lonely.
explanation. You know what? Let's do
When
one
this
more
war ends, I
quick
will be
roundup.
quite lonely
Basically, I
indeed.
replayed the game,
If you go back to
and
Bridget,
I went through it this
That's
time
not
with
a
the goal of
truth.
getting as many of the support conversations unlocked as I could.
I have just
I
made
got a ton of
decision.
them unlocked,
I
but there
will
were
work
some I
as an
missed.
ambassador,
And the DLC lets you
building
spend your
relations
renown to
between
unlock
our
support
people.
support levels.
Whether you are in
So I
Bridget
did
or
that for all the
Fodlan,
ones I missed,
I will be
and this
there
is all
too.
of them.
Then both places can move forward together in eternal friendship. We ought to
Dimitri
join
accidentally
forces
kills
and
the
make that
Slithery
a
boys.
reality. Do you not agree?
What? No, I thought
You
in
have
at the
my
end of this route
gratitude,
they
Ferdinand.
it ends
All
without
of it.
resolving the
I
Slithery
have
the
loneliness
Slithering
just like
Slytherin,
But your words will bring great happiness.
and that they're still
Please
kind of
do
there
what
and
you
need
are
to be
saying.
dealt with.
And be a bridge for Fodlan and Bridget.
You can count on me. We will keep
Bex,
at it. And one
Which route am I on? You can tell by the color of the vignetting. We are on Blue Lions. It doesn't resolve it. Yeah, see, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that it's not resolved during the course of the game. I know during the final battle you do kill one of the dudes, right? What's his name? One of the dudes shows up during the final battle on the final map, and you can kill him. You should kill him because it makes the map so much easier. But
Delicious.
Marianne, may I join you?
Yes, Ferdinand. Of course.
yeah, no worries. Let's see.
Is something wrong?
It looks so weird. They're meant to be sitting at a table, but it doesn't look like that at all because of the way they did the supports.
You seem very different.
And I think it's fine. I think that's a fine solution to it because you don't really want to
That
like
may be true.
load the environment, load the character models just for like these quick and back and forth support conversations.
Please, you're making me blush.
See, the
I
Blue
do not
Lions
mean
is the
to
worst ending
embarrass
because
you.
nothing has changed. They haven't dealt
I'm
with
just
those who
saying
slither in
you
the dark.
seem to have
That's
truly
a fair
changed.
fair point. I think
Well,
Blue Lions is one of
I
my
have
least
you to
favorite
thank for
endings from the
that.
standpoint of
In truth,
where I would
spent
want
a
to end
lot
the
of time
conflict,
thinking about what you
or like
said.
whose side I would want to
It
be
meant
on.
so much when you
But
told me
I
that
think Blue
everyone
Lions
had a
has the
purpose to
best
fulfill.
overall story. Like if you were to play if you were to sit down and like I'm gonna play one route of this game to get the most out of it, Blue Lions is probably the one you would want to go with because
But I've been much
that gives you the
happier
clearest
since I
overview
started
of the
thinking about it
whole
more. I remember
as
the
many
time back when I was
different
working at
facets
the
of the
family
overarching
clinic.
plot as it can,
The rest of the staff was
while
so
giving a very
thankful for the work
satisfying
I had
resolution
done.
to the core conflict
Even
between
in
Dimitri and
something as
Edelgard.
simple as looking after
Sorry for not. No
animals,
worries, Katie.
I was able to make myself
Because he's
useful
destroyed the
to
CEO of
others.
racism. Hello, Insane
Thinking
Oddball.
about it made me realize
Yeah,
that
yeah, get your
everyone
Claude
can make
memes
other
out.
people happy.
I hate Claude's ending a little less than I did. Claude's ending is very epic, and it's very fun to play.
What do you mean?
But it feels like it comes out of nowhere. It doesn't,
Making
because you
people
see
happy.
Slytherin like
If you
kind
ask
of
me, that is a
experimenting
truly
with like
worthwhile purpose.
zombie kind of things
You may
throughout
be
the course of the
right.
game, like when you have to go to Ramire Village. But it still feels like such an
I wanted
asshole,
to ask about your
which
family.
I guess makes sense because
What about
Claude
it?
really isn't the center of this conflict. Claude's
Today
just
was
kind of the
my turn to
bystander.
prepare the meal. How
Let's
is
start
it?
upside down Claude here. Yeah, get your Claude memes out.
It is delicious.
Favorite story was Black Eagles, actually. Just which was more.
The
Me
flavor and
too.
texture
My
are
the
superb.
first one I actually
You are
played was
certainly
the Black
making me
Eagles
happy.
ending. Kind of stumbled into that one on
I'm glad
accident.
you like it.
I hope you
And
learn
I
to
didn't like it at the
yourself.
time because
For what
I
it's
didn't
worth,
understand
I
where it
love
fit
you.
in with the rest of the
Huh?
conflict. Black Eagles route is very much meant to be played
Maybe
last.
If
And if you
have
don't
the
play it
time,
last, you miss so much of the
can you cook
conflict that
something
makes it
for me
have that
again?
important resolution.
For me alone.
Because they
I-
don't explain a lot of the stuff to you in that route. They just kind of leave it up
Of
for you,
course.
like,
It
to
would be
draw
my
conclusions.
pleasure.
So then Claude manages to figure out actual events. Yeah, that's also true. Claude is way more canny at this. Alright. Who's next? Ferdinand and Hilda.
Oh dear, I'm thirsty again. If only I
Golden
had
Deer
a
is the best ending
drink.
for all of Fulham.
have some
I
tea.
guess.
You are welcome to
I
drink
still
some.
think, for me personally, Black
dear,
Eagles is my
I
favorite
forgot to get
ending
mine.
because, or is my favorite route
I
because
found it. Here it is.
I tend to agree with Edelgard's
Oh
view of
dear,
like,
I didn't
no,
return
this
my
has been
library
entrenched
book.
for so
I
long that
returned your book a little while
the
ago.
only way to do it is burn it down and start over.
Oh, thank you.
And but
Ferdinand,
that, you know,
how did you get
also
so
some of that
good at
is, you know,
doing
it's a
things for
video
me?
game, so it doesn't.
It's like you know what I need before I do.
I have lots of
Zeros
practice
and those who
fielding
slip in
your
the dark because he
requests.
isn't directly involved in any side. He
All
isn't
I
biased
need
in
to
his
do is
reasoning. That's a
stay
good point,
focused,
Insane Oddball.
and I know what you
She
need.
literally makes it.
I can practically read your mind.
Oh, you know what it's like in here, huh?
Listen,
Okay, tell me what I'm thinking about right
listen, right now.
Hmm.
Don't need to call me out like
You
this.
want a snack?
Sorry, nice try. Actually, I was thinking I've become quite fond of you.
I suppose that is inevitable. I am
Ugh.
rather fond of you as well. I find your laziness.
I kind of did like a big U-turn on
The
the
fond
story's written
thing
poorly.
was just a joke.
You're absolutely right.
I was
which is really weird because
Kinda thirsty.
the game does so much to focus you in on Edelgard. Like, she's the first character, she was the first character of spoken voice lines in any of like the promotional art. She's always the first one to be shown. Like, all of the early gameplay for this showed the Black Eagle's house. All of the tooltips in-game show Edelgard as the character or stuff from the Black Eagle's house to try to get you to make sure that you're focusing in on her as the character. So, you know, it's more impactful when she turns tail on you. But I can't believe that, like, they went to all that trouble to make all of the main songs from her perspective. Exactly, like, they went to so much trouble to show you that this was Edelgard's conflict, and then they didn't bother to write her a great resolution.
I appreciate
and
that. Shall we go?
What the hell?
Huh? Go
Way too short. Don't think it was originally planned in the first place.
I thought you
I don't know if
wanted
that's the case, but Plessy, what game you're playing after finishing this? I don't know. I think we're going to be doing this all day. This is going to take at least 3 hours. And even after that, I might just do the final chapters for fun. Ferdinand and Flane.
Flane, I hope you will allow me to apologize.
Why would you need to do that?
Silverstone was even the first route planned, and it's just an inferior verdant wind. Yeah, that's fair.
Could have been gravely injured. You have been avoiding
Is this a Smash spinoff?
So I want to reiterate how
Okay,
very
unironically,
sorry.
in the next Smash Bros. Game, Edelgard deserves at least an assist trophy. Hope everybody had a great day.
You are not avoiding?
Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day too. It's weird having this many people show up for just a, you know, cutscene watching fun times, but I ain't gonna complain about it. We get this game definitely gets better on second playthrough, and definitely
I do train quite often.
what's the word I want here?
On the battlefield, it is perfectly
It benefits
common to lift up a wounded
from repeated playthroughs and some
It
more
has nothing to
reflection
do
on
with
it
your
and its
gender.
characters.
In the heat of the moment, I pay no
It's
attention to such things.
and which is why I can play it through like what 7 or 8 times now, and still enjoy it.
Well of strength for embracing people, it seems.
Well, I would not put it like that. Usually, when I embrace people, it is in the context of battle.
Is that so?
Get to romance your semi-grandma daughter, so it's all cool. And a Fire Emblem game if it still
So the
hasn't.
embrace was nothing more than a rescue.
You know, I did do the Rhea route at one point as a femme byleth because there's just such a paucity of gay options here.
My life is not in peril.
Huh? Why?
Because I'd like to feel that way again. That's why. How about it?
You know what? While we're on the subject of Rhea being byleths, she's also the Pope and a dragon. She's got a lot of classes, honestly. I really like the way that the Cinder Shadow storyline kind of fleshed that out. That was so perfect.
I'm delighted. Does right now work for you?
Why, of course. Easily done. Although, perhaps
Fucking the Dragon Pope is pretty powerful. It is.
Agreed.
It is.
Better to let this be our little secret.
But you know what's more powerful? Fucking killing her. Killing her so hard your heart starts to beat for the first time in your life. That's powerful. I think the hardest thing for me about Lady Rhea is that she absolutely has the Hartman hips to her, and it's so hard.
Until the heavens heard our cry. In the hour of vengeance, will you heed the call? On the red fields of revenge, will you help avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall.
Oh, Ferdinand's got a very pleasant singing voice.
That song.
Manuela, hello.
You Rhea
What a treat.
bangs.
It is most
That is a
rare to
fact.
see you at the trading
You know what?
grounds. I have
She
never had
she
the
does
honor of
give you
sparring with
she does
princess.
have a
Why not grab a sword?
high rank in
That's called
what's
changing
the in
subject.
brawling. She definitely
That
uses her
song
fists.
you were
Yeah, I
singing,
can't swear.
Is it the one you said made such
Sorry,
an
that's just
impression
YouTube.
on you?
So you
Random
heard
question,
me.
but what crossover did you find absurd?
I hope
Very
it was
open-ended
not
question.
too great
Oh,
on your
hold on.
ears.
You've nothing at all to be embarrassed about. I'm pleased if one of my songs stayed with you like that. Oh, it really takes me back. I remember the big battle.
Y'all gotta
first
remind me
act.
whenever I forget to update the
On
thing.
the crimson rain of pain it came,
'Cause we're almost
falling upon
halfway.
the land aflame, when the sacred blade it split the sky, until the heavens heard our cry. In the hour of vengeance, will you heed the call? On the red fields of revenge, will you help avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall. Wow. My heyday is behind me.
Terminator vs Superman has to be up there. It's just.
For sure.
I didn't know that one existed. That's so weird.
Exactly the voice I recall from my childhood. To have witnessed this performance in such an intimate setting.
See, God, I hate Ferdinand a lot, but he is definitely a fucking gentleman at times, and I'm like,
You have shaken me
come
to
on,
my
buddy.
very core.
All right, Ferdinand, relax. I can see that it's affected you deeply.
Why you like this, buddy?
You made a little boy's cherished dream come true. Perhaps you can help realize one more.
Another one? And what would that be?
Would you do the sword dance with me?
What is this, a crossover episode?
It had a part
Stop
for
this,
a male
Mercury.
performer, if I recall.
Stop this.
I would be truly honored.
Okay, best crossover of all time.
Can't do it as well now
Harvey
as I
Birdman,
could then.
attorney at law.
But you're just so adorably you.
That entire
I can't
series.
resist.
There you go. But SBU and Undertale with Sans. Yeah, that, not gonna lie, that was just very strange. I like it. It makes a lot of sense, but it's strange.
It was like dancing with a pro. Perfect timing, always in step.
All thanks to you.
I actually played Me Gunner before Sans dropped, so I'm like, shit. I guess I am just a Sans main now. Alright, enough of Ferdinand von Ayer. Oh god, we have so many with Lin. Why do we have so many with Linhardt? Okay. Linhardt and Caspar.
Huh? Caspar? Whatever is he doing here? Oh no. Is he looking for a fight with
You
someone?
want to talk about the absurdity of the Underverse? Is that what they call it?
Today's my day. Caspar's
Could
day.
Sandman get a turn and cap or something? God,
Yes,
no.
Caspar, just like
See,
that.
no.
Just as
Why
we
would
practiced.
no?
Yes. Dodge. Yes. Perfect. Right there.
The only good thing Ferdinand did was suggest public education might be good.
Yes. Caspar, you did
Oh my
it.
god, Linhardt absolutely is a backseat gamer.
And that's how it's done. Woo! And then I got him. Bam! Right in the solar plexus. I really wish you could have. Hey, are you even listening?
You want to say one
This is when
thing?
it starts
Okay.
getting real good.
You may say several things.
I'm listening. I am sad to say, however, that the tale is slightly less thrilling the fourth time through.
You should be more excited. We finally won.
We?
We? What is with the weird long ass pauses? Caspar is a baby gay and you don't trust him? Yeah, that's a fair thing.
Nonsense.
Using the
You're
AOT
straight
final
there
season to
today.
teach them the colors.
I just rambled on. You're the one who did the actual work.
I don't know what that is, but
really amazing is how you
Ferdinand eliminated student debt. Yeah, Ferdinand eliminated student debt. You know who hasn't eliminated student debt yet? Joe Biden. You know who could do that right now? Joe Biden.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Joe Biden could just
Like he
eliminate
said, I wouldn't
student
give
debt
up
in the
on
Americas
fighting,
right now.
and I'm not gonna give up
Come
on
on.
this either.
I should
Clock's
have
ticking.
expected that, I suppose. That's just the kind of guy you are, after all. I guess this friendship is something
Looks like
that
he will do
we'll never
flag
see
discourse on Twitter. Oh
ever.
no.
Are you saying you want to escape from our friendship?
Not at all. Even if I did, our fates would not be so easily untangled.
You got that right. No one can break this bond. Even if we argue and butt heads sometimes, we'll never have to fight it out. And that's a promise.
Understood. I don't desire to fight anyone anyway. This war is the last time I'll set foot on a battlefield.
Well, that makes sense.
Let's you and I come out the other side of this war alive and well, okay? That is a promise worth making.
Oh, Attack on Titan. That's what it.
And
Okay.
Let's win this thing while we're at it.
I really don't like Attack on Titan. It's not my cup of tea. No shame if it's what you like, but it's not my preferred anime. Linhardt and Bernadetta, number 31.
I was under the impression you were going to break all of your paintbrushes.
Cut it out, Linhardt.
See, what the fuck is up with Bernadetta's post-time skip outfit? Like, it was designed by...
as
Like,
a
I could
character.
get it if she was wearing, like, a
Myself.
very fancy noble outfit that she
Maybe you
didn't
should have.
want to wear because, like, oh, she's a noble that she kind of got put into. She has to. I get it. But there's no one's forcing her now. Why is she...
So what
God
do you
damn it, Bernie.
suppose is the name for this kind of situation?
What situation?
It's a very H-word outfit. Exactly. Like, it sounds... It looks like it was designed by someone
Let me pack
who...
my things and I'll be off.
Like, it's not an outfit Bernadetta would have picked out for herself, you know? Bernadetta, she absolutely does. She is precious and I love her. But she also deserves, like, an outfit she would want to wear.
I'm not sure what you
Pants would
mean.
have made it all right.
I'm
You know
always
what?
alone.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just
Well, there it is then. I
so
suppose
much
you could say
skin
you're
in
alone
so many,
together.
like,
We're each
odd
here alone,
places.
yet together.
I think is the
So
word I'm...
you're alone
Odd?
Together. What do you think?
What was the hair, though? Yeah, exactly. What is her haircut? I could
Oh,
accept that she did not have a say in what her haircut is. That's fine.
That's just a nice way of saying you want to be alone, right? Alone.
It's like a
alone.
beetle cut, but with her
That's what
weird
you
middle
mean?
part thing.
I'll go.
You know, the
Please,
one that makes her look like
Bernadetta, you
Kurisu from
shouldn't
Steins
go.
Gate.
Being alone together means accomplishing more. We each have the concentration one gets from time alone, but also the thrill.
What
of
I'm saying
being
is
with someone
Bernie should have
else.
looked more like
I
Bernie,
find it to
if you
be
know
an
what I mean.
exhilarating environment.
I miss her messy. I miss her messy hair too.
Huh? Me?
Yeah, Bernadetta with messy hair
I'd
is
rather
just
be alone, but when I'm
optimal.
painting, and I know
Kurisu without arm belts.
I worry
She doesn't have arm
that
belts,
might
but she
point
definitely
out
has
on me.
something going on.
Is that the thrill you mean? Because I feel that.
She's got that weird
Here's what I
cape
wish to
thing
point
around
out
her
about your
shoulders that's
painting.
only her
You've
shoulders.
really improved. Your
Like, that's a
lines
separate
are
piece from the
bolder,
rest of her
your
outfit.
choice is more informed,
Like,
and
what
your
the hell is going
composition
on
as a
there?
whole.
Did you actually just praise me, Linhart? What's next? A rain of flying pigs?
I was just
Times
saying
get Bernadetta
you
becomes
think.
Bernie. Exactly.
Look, you probably have talent, and you work hard too.
I still want to do the
I'm on to you now. You're scheming.
I wanted on my next playthrough. I want to do the Bernadetta build where she can just
All you want to
insta crit
get your hooks into
and
my heart?
everything.
You won't fool me.
I'm not sure how praising
I forget the
you
exact
means I'm
setup
trying
for
to
it,
get my
but
hooks
there's a
into
build
your
you can get
heart.
with her where
I have a heart of stone.
you can take advantage
No one will
of her
ever get to it.
What a shame.
her ability
I
where
suppose I'll
if she's
stop
not
praising you
at
then.
max HP, she gets a bonus damage,
Will?
and then you can
No,
give her like I think it's Vantage, so she's always attacking
way.
first and max up her crit, so she can.
You can praise me as much as you want.
Storytime as
I
SK
don't
talk to their fellow
understand
people
you
with
in
ease and
one
confidence.
way.
Really happy that their
However,
wide
if you
YouTube
want
channel is really
praise,
good.
then
Our
praise
re-
you will get.
I don't know if to take that as praise or if a shadow burn there. if my YouTube channel, Vivian and my YouTube channel wasn't good before now? We only became good once we stopped making content and only uploaded Fire Emblem 3 Houses cutscenes unedited.
Ah, here you are.
What's up, Lynn? Come to invite me to dinner?
All right.
Well,
If my
that's
count
it.
at the beginning was
But
correct,
first,
this
there's
should be the
something I
halfway
wish to
point.
say. I
At
believe I
1:33 p.m., so about
previously implied that
a little
it's
over an hour and a
okay to
half
spend
in.
your days by running away from what troubles you. And I think that I was unkind. to
Brittany
you.
ends the battle quickly so she can go back to her room.
What are you talking
Exactly.
about?
To be honest, while I try to be
See, and that's the thing, like, they
easygoing,
spend
I
so
try
much
to
time
feel a bit
establishing that she will not come out of her
uneasy
room unless she wants
One
to,
of the
or
effects
has
of
to.
running away constantly is that eventually one runs out of places to
And even in
go.
Faye, one of her
Because I
one of
avoid
her
things I find
she has a holiday
unpleasant, the number
alt
of
in
things
Faye
I avoid
where she'll
ever
one of her lines is like, "Oh,
I've
no
never
one
wanted
wants
to
to see you
deal
dressed
with
up like
the
this,
pain of my
Bernie." Ah!
past, so I can never
And it's like,
increase
well,
my
she clearly
tolerance
doesn't like
toward new
want to be
things.
dressed up fancy.
That's
Let
all.
Bernadetta wear a sweater.
But there are some nights where it really worries me.
That's what you wanted to say? It'd be the same if you weren't avoiding things. You'd just be up at night wondering what was coming next. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate you showing me a glimpse of your real self.
I have
first
opinions
time.
on Fire Emblem characters,
For
and
the
y'all have
first
to hear it now.
time. Each time I speak, I show my real self.
So, what about that conversation we had?
Which conversation?
When you said I was a great woman, was that true?
Honestly,
Of course.
one thing I'll say about Three Houses is that after having played it
Just
like
trying to make me
a
feel better.
more than a handful of times now, like some of
didn't
its
really
shortcomings
think
are
you
becoming
looked at me
very,
that
very
way.
clear to me.
Why?
And some of the ways
Is it
where
so
like it's just
strange?
you can
You
see
seemed
that
rather happy
despite
about
like
it at
being
the
a great
time.
game, it's definitely got a couple of frayed edges.
That's not weird.
Linhart's looks nice. Yeah, Linhart's looks like something he would wear.
You're weird, Lynn. You know,
Yeah, that part.
I'm hungry all of a sudden.
But
Maybe
like,
I laughed too much.
there are definitely more than a few like
To invite you to dinner.
bits
You
of this
were?
game that are just not perfect.
When I walked in, you asked if I'd
This
come
game has
to invite
problems.
you to
Yeah,
dinner.
exactly.
I said yes.
And on first playthrough, it's
can't
easy to
be
miss
bothered
them
to
because
walk
it's
into town.
it's pretty overwhelming. But
visit the
like on
dining
repeated
hall?
playthroughs, you start to
What?
notice. That said, that
Oh,
makes me
fine.
very excited for what the
Show me
next
this
Fire Emblem game
easygoing
looks
way
like.
of yours.
Because if it continues this trend, but kind of improves on those parts that were less than optimal, it's going to be phenomenal. Like, holy shit. They are so close to like a perfect game here. Linhardt and Petra.
Linhardt, please accept my apology.
Everyone ends the fight. Everyone.
You were
Okay, is
not
everyone okay?
deserving of this punishment.
I
Yeah.
am the one who suggested
Can't see
that
Linhardt
the great
ending
fire
up with anyone
I
romantically.
suppose
His
it's
true love
only
is eternal
fair I
slumber.
get punished too.
Exactly, insane
How
oddball.
was I supposed to
You know,
know
actually, you know what?
Archbishop's
We
favorite
might,
chair was stashed away under a pile of trash. My apologies,
We might get
Petra.
to one of his
My idea turned out
unfortunate
to be
supports.
worthless.
It was not worthless. It had great worth. You gave me great help so I could be smoking all of that meat.
Excuse me.
I give you all of my gratitude.
He has a
for that.
really, really
Still have
unfortunate
no worries
support
about
with
provisions.
Flane.
I just realized
That's just
they didn't actually tell us when the
fucking
punishment
creepy.
would be over.
You can be leaving if you are wanting to. I will not be telling anyone. This is my responsibility to take.
How are you so obedient and yet so passionate at the... Oh, look, Petra! The book you were searching for.
Does he have a book in his belt?
Complete Guide to Fodlan's Wildlife.
Does he have a book belt?
I have so much happiness.
I want to keep a
You
book
are full
belted
of
to me at all
amazement.
times for tactical usage.
Well, books are my field of
Yeah, right
expertise.
over his
Still
right hip
a
there.
stroke of
He's got a
luck.
book belt,
Linhardt, can I be asking you something?
What's
or as
that?
we'd call it in modern days, a cell phone.
You are no longer saying
Action
I
rules
am
really need
bothering
to be
you.
part of the main game. Their DLC is
Instead,
way,
you are
only way we
helping
learn
me
about
with my
Wildest Mother.
request. What is the reasoning? Why am I not bothering you?
Yeah. Well, I
Hmm,
get it.
interesting observation.
I get it.
wonder why that is.
I think they're fine as
You
DLC. I
always
think
ask me so
the game
earnestly.
itself, the base game,
You seem to
works
throw your
fine
entire being
without knowing who
into all
Byleth's
that
mother
you
is.
do.
I think that's actually okay,
Is it rather like
leaving that kind of as an
work
open
hard as you
question,
do?
because
Oh,
we get enough, we hear enough to
You
know
are
that
liking the
stuff
hard
about
Yes.
about what
You
the relationship
inspire me to
between
be.
her and Geralt and Rhea
Well,
was.
something that is
I am
not
glad that it
linear.
got clarified
You are liking
and
it. Then I will
presented
keep
clearly
working
in the
hard.
DLC,
With your
but I
wisdom,
don't think it
I
was
can be working
necessary to
even
make the
harder
base
than
game
before.
good.
That means I
It's
will
called a
be needing
fanny
your
pack.
wisdom
You're
from
right, my
now
bad.
onward.
A lot of people's
With
supports
my
with Flane are
strength
creepy.
and
She's
your
technically an
wisdom,
adult, but
there
it
is
does.
nothing
It does.
I
She's got the
can't be
tiki
doing.
problem.
I think you may be right. Your strength and my
There's a
wisdom.
plot point that falls
That
apart.
sounds like a wonderful
Which
combination.
plot point, Reina? In the DLC, or as a result of knowing about, or as a result of what we learned about? Oh, we do have to do the Linhardt Flame one. I'm sorry, everyone.
You seem to.
Without
have
Cinder
lined up
Shadows,
your
there's very
designs
little evidence for Rhea being
meticulously.
insane.
What you see before you, Lysithea, is a life choice.
Oh, really?
That's true. Most of what you see in the base game is you have to take Edelgard's words at face value. And it's not until you do Edelgard's route that you really see what Rhea's like underneath.
Employ advanced baking methods and create.
So without that, there's very little
You
pointing you
put a
towards
lot
that.
of thought into this. May I?
Ignat's Flame is
Of
wholesome and they
course.
keep their green
You
genetics.
can have one
Okay.
though, and it should be noted that they taste completely different. I thought I'd split them between us, seeing as they were made so carefully and are so very, very special.
Ah, thanks. So, what exactly is the life choice you mentioned? Also, if you are not partaking,
Edelgard's
I'll
super
just
wrong
go
and had
ahead and eat them
is
both.
misguided by Slither Boys.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's
For you
also
see,
true.
If you eat one, you
But
simply cannot, must not eat the other.
They definitely.
Should you eat both, a pair of ingredients, one in
This is a
each
weird
taste,
kind of thing to think, but I feel like
to poison you.
they built up Edelgard to be one of the faces of the game to make her
Just one won't
heel
do
face
it.
turn into the
course not.
antagonist to have
But
more
making this choice
impact,
means you
which
will
is a
not
good
be
move.
able to taste
But
the
then
second
when it
dessert.
came to actually doing her route, they really did her
No matter
dirty.
what I tell you,
Like
you'll never
I
know
I
which
think
one
her route
tastes
would have been
best.
so much better with
And
like
if you are
maybe like another
underwhelmed
round
by
of
your choice,
proofing
you'll
on it,
regret
or
your decision forever.
like they
So,
really
I
did
should
her
just pick
wrong.
one and be done with it.
But you've already chosen, haven't you? Not between the pastries, but your life path.
Low Middle Ages, or we in Empire era of Europe in this game?
Chance of living a long life, even if it meant losing your 2 credits.
It's unclear, but we're also in the future, Carlos. Because
Wait.
it's weird. There are also missiles, just actual regular missiles, and dubstep.
Even with 2 crests, you might live a long time. And with you around, the study of crests will undoubtedly reach previously unimagined levels. On the other hand,
Y'all didn't tell me. I forgot to update.
getting rid of them could help someone that I care
There we go.
about. Maybe. Or maybe it won't help at all. Unfortunately, one never knows until they eat.
So in the far future, we are in the past again, basically.
You can never taste them both.
Hang on, Linhardt. Do you mean to tell me you care
It's
about me?
unclear, but yeah.
Since
It
when?
doesn't really affect the setting that much. You could take out like the weird schizo the weird anachronistic tech stuff and still have a reasonable setting, but
Family? That escalated
we're Renaissance but way behind in some ways, but also ancient alien nuke. Yeah.
does sound
But also like they're way behind in some ways because there's specifically a group of people in power keeping society from progressing too far in certain ways. And that's part of the central conflict, is that there is very much a group of people that are preventing society from growing.
Are you sure these aren't poisoned? Linhardt, wait! Wait!
Oh, Lysithia. God, I really hope that whatever ending she winds up getting in this one, that gets someone who's going to work with her on her crest stuff. Oh, Marianne and Linhardt.
There you are, Marianne. I'd like a moment to talk.
Oh, Linhardt. I was just on my way to pray.
Rhea, please give us a crumb of good farming technique. Exactly. And that's one of the things I like in the late in the game in the Abyss. You can see like some of the information and techniques that Rhea has tried to suppress, and it's incredible.
Were you here this entire time?
Like, because she absolutely is trying to like keep a stranglehold on power by making sure society can't progress too much. But which is why you get this weird kind of mixture of low tech, but all like.
What did you want to talk about?
The results of my research.
I don't know. I'm not a professional setting maker. I don't know
I intended to look into the power
how to
of your
reconcile all the
crest
things.
from the
But
first moment I met you.
and Linhardt not having boundaries.
And I can conclude that it is due to your crest.
Are you sure? That's...
Or more likely,
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, Raina.
Oh.
Really helps us out to the plot that I genuinely feel like if like they could have just taken like a couple more months on this game and just made sure that the Crimson Flower storyline really had the same muster as the rest of the game, and it would have just been so much better. That said, it's still a fantastic game because I've played it like 7 or 8 times at this point. Marianne, I have pepper spray in her mouth. She absolutely does.
Don't you agree?
That may be true.
By the way, eating the vegetables you gave me caused no ill effects. They were as delicious as ever.
I can't tell if like Linhardt doesn't know what boundaries are or is purposely doesn't care about them. It's very weird.
You're going to make us both sick.
All right. Sorry. As I said, it is my scholarly opinion that your crest does not cause bad luck.
Thank you for your reassurance. It does make me feel a little better.
It's probably just that you and the people around you have had some bad days. It happens. I'm going to watch over you from now on, and if
Honestly, like real talk, what would have been really cool is if during the chapters where you have to fight those who slither in the dark, because like it's such a weird setting, and the music sells it too, because suddenly it's all dubstep for some reason, and you're like, what is this weird cyberpunk city underneath the ground, whatever? Why don't they come at you with like high-tech weaponry? Why are they still fighting you with like sword? I guess magic makes sense because magic is still magic regardless of what level of tech you have, but how come no one pulls out a fucking gun? You telling me the Garthans don't have a single fucking gun anywhere? They have missiles and they never figured out guns? Okay, here comes the cringe time.
Reading anything interesting?
Oh, good day, Linhart.
Ah.
At the moment, I'm simply browsing history books. Reading these, it's easy to imagine what it would feel like to exist long ago.
Fodlan's history spans
Cool if they used a gun, but mainly it would be hilarious.
We're lucky to have so many
Gun magic is
detailed
too OP.
records of our past.
I'm just saying it would it would have helped to really sell the fact that this is a setting that feels wrong.
But I'd never describe it as feeling like I was living in the past.
Bernie with a gun. Oh my God, yes, Bernadetta, but with a gun.
About our shared crests.
Gunpowder. Well, sure, okay, gunpowder doesn't exist. Fine, but like you telling me they don't have weird tech guns? Like they don't have like a some kind of stun gun, or they can make missiles, but they don't have some kind of handgun. But yeah, they are also super. Still, I'm just saying, why would they still rely on swords and shit?
I'm unsure of the results, but that's why they call it an experiment. It would, of course,
So I'll say with a gun. Imagine Claude just pulls a gun out on Nemesis. No, Claude's got Fail Not. Fail Not is better than a gun, and you can't convince me otherwise. Fail Not is just, oh my God. And in Blue Lines, they just hand it to you for some reason, because Claude fucks off back to Elmira or whatever.
Are you actually speaking about a hypothetical future
Oof.
me involving?
I talked over the cringe for you.
Yes. Such parentage has
Wait,
never
no
been
more
done.
cringe is coming. I'm sorry, I need to keep
A whole
talking.
new field of research awaits. It would be a worthy experiment, and we need only
Linhart,
5 or
hey
so
Flane,
children for
what
it
if
to
we fucking have
fantasize.
children, you know, just for an
Do you mind
experiment?
going
That
back to
cool?
What you mentioned earlier?
Child managed to lift a broken. Yeah, Dimitri definitely has some hints about him that he is got some super strength going on for some reason.
People who love one another.
This one is so bad. This is one of the worst ones in the
Advance a
entire
field of
game.
study to previously unknown heights. How do you feel?
Topics in chat switch so quickly.
First I've heard
Yeah,
of
that's
such a
part of the
thing from
fun,
you.
Katie.
Do you imagine I've spent all this
Too hot for
time
handheld
talking
stuff.
to
It
you
was the
because
only
I was
burnable thing they
bored?
had. Maybe.
Anyway, I'm pretty worn out now.
Okay,
so let's
maybe.
continue this conversation another time, yes?
Does conversing with me tire you out so much?
Talking to anybody tires me out. Thinking, putting thoughts into words, opening my mouth.
God damn
all
it,
tiring.
Linhart.
Do give some thought to my proposal. Think of how far we could advance Crest research, you and I.
You're here to advance Crest research. That's it. That's all I want to do, Flane. All I want to do is advance Crest research with you.
Understand it all.
God damn it, Linhart. Why are you like this? Do you think Linhart's attracted to other people? I don't ship him with anyone. None of the relationships or endings he has in the game feel right to me. That's fair, Max. He definitely feels like he could be romantic, but none of the pairings in this game are particularly good for him. Archer's a thing in this game? Absolutely they are.
So, now you've held Thunderbrand. Learn anything?
Also, one thing I discovered in doing Catherine's supports is that she flirts with a distressing amount of the main cast,
No,
which
not at all.
doesn't feel right
My
to me.
body is operating at its normal, healthy level of sleepiness. I felt
Is
no
Linhart
effect
ace?
at
I don't
all,
think
honestly.
Linhart is ace.
Perhaps
I
one
don't think
exposure
Linhart is
felt
ace.
it
I do
wasn't
think
enough.
he is. I do think, however,
Tell me
none of
you
the
wanna get a hold of it
cast
again.
here really works for him.
Of course not. There is a difference between taking a risk and being a fool. Interesting experiment.
Don't see him as the type to have a long-term relationship.
All my
If he
life,
did have a long-term
there
relationship, it would
absolutely
it
nothing
would
happened.
likely be with someone that's very
Seems if
similar in
one's
demeanor to
crest is
him.
not compatible, a relic simply will not work. To feel that response, to better understand the bond, that is more than
So that
enough
Iron
for
Horse.
me.
I
Carlos,
see.
if you can figure out why
What
it
will
makes
you do
sense, then
now?
I will.
assume your relic research
Then
is complete.
by all means.
Not at all.
Felix
I
Annette is
have other
pure
clues
uwu.
to follow,
Felix Annette
experiments
is
to
adorable.
perform. That
Oh
said,
wait, did I?
would be pleased if someone who could use their relic with all their might would join in my research.
What? You don't mean me, do you?
Y'all,
Now that you mention it,
gotta
I
remind me.
suppose you would fit the bill.
Getting way too invested in this world's
Sure seems
socioeconomics
that's
and
what you're
geology.
getting at.
This world is really weird.
Fine. When the war's over, I'll help with your research.
Felix Annette is one of the few supports where he isn't him. Yeah, but it's also he's being like not him, but kind of in spite of himself. because he's all like, I don't know. I guess maybe it's okay if, you know, and he's all embarrassed about it. And it's like, come on, dude, just be a normal fucking human being for once. This world's socioeconomics don't make sense. Yes, and that's by design. What do we got next? Caspar and Bernadetta. Nice. This is the one where he violates her personal space repeatedly.
Come on,
I love this
Bernadetta,
one.
open up. Why are you so mad at me? I have no clue what this is about, but I'm sorry.
You have no clue.
They don't think about the world building on the...
Don't you remember what you
They did to a degree, but like not...
No?
They don't need to. It's a Fire Emblem game. I'm not playing it because I need to know exactly how the economy works.
Was carrying me off twice. I thought I might die.
What are you even talking about?
Actually, oh, you know, I threw a train of weird connections here. One of the other things that this game did, this game could have really improved on, they did Anna dirty in this game. She was one of the first DLC units, right? But she has no supports and no reason to do tea times with her, so it doesn't feel like she's really a character. She's just kind of on the side of everything, and it's like,
I didn't
ugh.
realize I was just excited to show it to you. Maybe I went a little overboard. I'm real sorry about that.
You are? Well, I hope you understand now.
I
Bernadetta
definitely
needing
do,
to teach men about
and I feel
personal
awful
space.
about it. What can I do to make it up to you? Anything you want. I want to show you how seriously sorry I am.
Well, all right. I'd like you to, bring me to that place again.
The unthought implications are so weird. Yeah, I mean, that's also kind of interesting in that respect.
Anything.
No carrying, no pulling around. Treat me gently.
Sure, of course. No problem. But that was 3 things, not 2.
That was one thing.
God damn it, Caspar.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, okay. Sorry. What's the other thing?
I want you to promise not to take anyone else there.
Aw.
Only me.
All right, I can promise that. Seems a little strange, though. Why do you care?
One thing a bit weird is how crests have not spread.
Hurry up and take me there.
That is an interesting, like, how they haven't spread outside of, Fodlan.
Here we
Yeah,
are.
that's a little weird.
Look at that gorgeous
I
sunset.
wonder if it...
This is it.
I wonder if some of that has to do with, like,
After all
specifically
that,
that being the land of
coursing right through me.
This little bit
like
of
the land that
sunshine,
where the
you really gotta get outside more.
Nabatians have
From
power.
now on, I'm
But
gonna
like
take you to all sorts of different
outside of
places.
Fodlan, outside of
I
Nobles,
promise I'll be gentle,
yeah,
and I
that
promise I
does
won't
feel like a
take
bit of
anyone
a
else. Just you and me, all right?
like you telling me like no noble ever, you know, fucked someone who was a commoner and had a baby with them. You telling me that never happened?
What?
I guess the reason
Good
being
one,
that as soon as they
Bernadetta.
discover you have a crest, bam, they figure out your lineage, you're up into nobility now, right? Caspar carries Bernie like he does that all the time, and it's so like Caspar, have some understand what personal space is, please. Caspar and Dorothea.
Hey, Caspar, care to join me for tea?
Again? Well, let's make it quick. I gotta get some training in eventually.
More training? Don't you get tired of it?
No, I don't get tired
And
of
Mrs.
working
Generations
toward
too.
my goals,
Yeah, so
unlike
it can
you.
also it could be like dormant
What do you
in
mean?
genetically.
Your quest for the perfect husband. I haven't seen
I
you
think
wasting
part of it
time
is
with
also
any
that
well-looking guys
Fodlan
lately.
is the way that they talk
Oh.
about Fodlan makes it seem like it's very
Maybe
much
I
kind
just
of
found
isolated
something
itself
worth
from the rest of
staying
the
in
world.
for.
Like
You mean
it's
a
out there,
monastery?
but
This place is a
the people
dump
who
compared
control
to what it was
Fodlan
5
do a
years
very
ago.
good job of keeping it
That's
as
not what I'm
isolated as
talking about.
possible. Doesn't
Honestly,
explain why there
Caspar,
isn't
you don't
anyone, but
understand
like
women at all.
Well,
I think that's
excuse
part of it is that
me.
there's
Maybe I'm
very
just another
intentionally a
dull
policy
guy.
of
That must
isolationism.
be why you don't pick up on how I feel.
What?
When I'm around you, I feel like
Like that's part of how they keep Fodlan
Like
from
I
going.
can
Is
always
keeping
be
it like
myself.
as
I don't need
From-
to act differently or flirt or lie.
having too much contact with other nations.
I always said
Dorothea
people
Caspar, where they just settle with that they can
but
get each with what they can
when
get.
you're alone
Yep.
like this, the idea of marriage.
Nope. Hold it right there.
I do like their
Ah,
B support
give
where
me a
she
minute.
keeps
I was
where
not ready for
they
this.
she keeps teasing him about
Caspar, settle.
calling him
You
big
might be
bro,
getting the
and
wrong
Caspar
idea.
just can't handle
I
it.
was
That's
only
really good.
saying, when I'm with you like this, I can forget all about marriage and just be friends.
Huh? Right. Of course.
Though I suppose relationships like that can also lead to marriage.
Now I know you're messing with me.
I'm not trying
The
to
fucking
tease.
head shake with
I
arms
was
up
just thinking out
expression is
loud.
so good.
If neither of us ever find our special someone, it might not be so bad to settle down and spend
Yep.
the rest of our lives together.
If neither of us manage
What do you
to
think?
find anyone else, let's settle for each
really
other.
thought
Sound
about
good,
that.
Caspar?
I'm not
Yeah,
really
sounds
the
good.
Romance type. Spending the rest of my
Oh
life with you
my
doesn't sound
god,
so bad,
the poor
though.
sod.
But why are we even talking about this? There's no way you won't find someone great.
Stranger things have happened.
Couple seasons of them,
Either
in fact.
way, no point in worrying about it now. I'm plenty happy with our current situation. Let's just focus on staying good friends.
Oh, we're almost at the big 4-0, y'all.
Here's to us.
All right, one more and we'll hit 40. Basically right on time, too. Caspar and Petra.
Hey, Petra. How's training going?
It is going
Yeah, we're
well.
basically running right on time.
am
It's
not
only
having any
it's like a
troubles
minute or
right
two
now.
before 2 now.
Good, good.
Basically about 3
These
minutes
things
each
haven't
so
gotten
far.
worse,
That's real good.
So, did you hear what happened the other day? The professor really.
Caspar.
I like Petra a lot because
okay,
she
there's
doesn't
no
really
need for
have
that.
time to like
You are
beat
the
around the
son of
bush
my
when she's
father's
talking to
killer.
people.
That means
She's
I
very
must be
sweet but
killing
also
you
very
and
direct,
taking
and I
revenge.
very much like that
What?
combination.
I thought you said it wasn't a big deal. We're not our parents.
Still bad
and all
about
that.
no Dimitri
Your
supports.
optimism
Think about it
is
this
not
way,
making
Reina. I cared
sense.
about Dimitri's
It is
supports
not
so
possible
much
that you are not
that I
having
made sure to
hatred
do
for
them
me.
as soon as I could.
My father was
Think about it
killed
that way.
by the Empire, by your father. And so I will be impaling you on this blade to be satisfying.
Also,
a deep
Petra's
wish
got a
of
really
mine.
great sense of humor to her,
Deep wish.
and
What
I
are you
love
talking about?
her
I am
humor is
talking about
so
my
good.
wish.
Mm.
Of course. I am also having another wish. An even deeper wish. I wish for you and I to keep being friends. To keep fighting and surviving together. When you are speaking of your father, it is with a proud smile that injures my
Petra's
heart.
great. Yeah.
But that is only
Low
a
key,
small
Petra's one
thing.
of the best parts of this game.
You also are working harder than anyone I am knowing.
Wish list for early supports for
So,
language stuff.
I
Yeah.
can't bring myself to be killing you.
Yeah.
I see.
I mean, it's good when it's like her support with Aloise, where it's her
Because of
learning
what
how to make,
happened, but
where it's her learning
you
about
still wanna be my
wordplay and
friend?
jokes in a
You
language
haven't
she doesn't
stabbed
know.
me
That's
yet,
cool.
so you obviously
But some of
want
the
me to
other
live
ones
more
are
than
like,
you want
eh.
me to die, I
But-
hope.
all like,
That must be the truth.
generally speaking,
More
her
than all
supports
of it.
end so well.
I am
I
not
love them.
wishing to be losing
Especially
you.
the one with Ign. I don't know if we get
It
to
would
do
give
hers
me
with
great
Ignatz at all.
sadness.
But she has a great one with Ignatz,
Okay, that's a relief. I don't want to lose you either.
where she
and I
determines that
definitely don't wanna
Ignatz
fight you.
glasses must be
To be honest,
relics related,
things were the other
a
way
relic
around,
that only he
I
can
don't
wield
think I'd be able
because
to
she
forgive
can't
you.
wear them without getting
I
seasick
hate
from
you.
the
And I'd hate myself for feeling that way.
his prescription or
Caspar.
whatever. Not prescription in this setting, but you know what I mean.
But you're not like that. You see
His
me
lenses
as
are
an
so thick
ally
that only he
and
can
your
wield them.
friend. You had the chance to kill me, but you used it to show me that you want me to live. You really are an incredible person, Petra. I
Aww.
want to be more like you. I want to
Caspar wants to be friends with Petra.
Promise. You won't regret
Yay.
letting me live.
You have my gratitude for your understanding. Hearing your words gives me great happiness. I was always feeling
Ignatz
a
is dummy thick.
barrier between our hearts. I am sure
That's
I
not what I
was the
said.
one putting it
That's
there.
not what I said, but
But from now on,
you're not wrong.
I will be sharing all of my heart with you. My grief and
All
anger,
right.
joy and
You know,
love.
since we're only doing
All
cutscenes
of
today, I
it.
don't really feel the need to
I'd
take
like
a
that,
break.
Petra.
But at the
From
start of
now
the next
on,
one, I am
we're
gonna
more honest
head over to
and
the
open
fridge
with
and
each
grab a new thing of hard cider to open up. So I might be away from the mic for a moment or two. But I see no need to take like a big break here. Oh no, that's all the Petras. Okay, so that's all the Petra we get today. I'm sorry, everyone. Let's start with Bernadetta and Raphael. Have a very good one. I'll be right back. I'm gonna be away from the mic for like 2 minutes.
Raphael. Lovely weather today, isn't it?
Sure is. Staring up at the sky on a clear day always reminds me of my hometown.
What was it like there?
Let's see. Well, it's a real calm and peaceful place. Big, clear skies, too. Just like this. It's full of friendly people and delicious food. Talking about it makes me want to go back.
Yeah, it's a shame we're stuck fighting in this war.
Right? I wonder what my little sis is up to. She's probably grown so much by now.
I haven't seen her since I came back to Garrick Mach. She probably wouldn't even recognize me anymore.
I'll bet she would. How could she possibly forget such a such a terrific big brother? There's no way.
You really think so? That's a relief. All this relief's making me hungry. Want to head to the dining hall?
Oh, actually, we can eat here. I cooked something up for us today.
Oh yeah?
You respect one himbo in this.
Say no to that.
Raphael's a good himbo to respect.
I heard you really like meat, so, here you go. It's my first time cooking something like this. I can at least guarantee it isn't poisoned.
Meat? That's my favorite! I'd probably eat it even if it was poisoned.
Yeah, you would, Raphael.
Is it, good?
That was amazing!
Fire Emblem 3 himbos.
Really? You like it?
Just get Raphael and Caspar and Dedu.
So juicy, so full of
Well, no, they're not all himbos. Dedu's not a himbo, but like all of the characters that would definitely be in JoJo's.
So rich and sweet. Wait.
2 p.m. It's 7 here.
Is sweet?
It's currently 2 p.m. here.
Tasty myself.
No. It was delicious. I couldn't believe it. I'd eat more fruits and vegetables if they were this good. If all food tasted like
Bex,
this,
you might be a little bit behind the rest of us.
I just don't know what I'd do with myself.
Well, if you like it, I wouldn't mind, making more. Whenever you want, really.
Really? That would be great. We gotta get this war over with so you can have more time to cook.
You know, I'd actually like that.
Aw, Bernie. But then they do some Galaxy Brain things every other episode. Yeah. Oh, Bernie and Sedith. I like this one.
Ah, Bernadetta, have you finished your illustrations?
Whoops.
Yes,
Sorry.
I have.
Let's write a children's book together.
This is the first time I've ever made anything for a real-life book.
See, Bernadetta, it only comes up, I think, in this,
All
but
burned out now. I guess if they're no good, we'll just have to burn them all, eh?
also the way Bernadetta makes jokes about her own name is very good.
Leave the topic of burning aside. Shall we? Show me what you've done.
She writes. She does art. She's got the whole package.
So, what do you think?
This is excellent work. The color, especially. It truly brings your art to life. I will see that the new edition
Ralph
of
Birdie's
our
ending
book
ends
is
with her
added
becoming a
to the Garrick
spokeswoman and
Mach
overcoming
collection.
social anxiety.
Really?
Really?
Oh, that's such a relief.
I've never seen that one, but that's
It's a tough
that's
job, but
fascinating.
Yeah, there's nothing Bernie can't handle.
You certainly do have some
I genuinely
impressive
think Bernie's habit of talking to about herself in the
Actually,
third person is
there
very,
one
very
thing
adorable.
I'd like to discuss.
Oh no, what did I get wrong?
Relax. I simply wanted to ask you about this last image.
I've got a blanket
This
now.
is
I'm very
you
comfy.
Is it not?
Yes.
We're in the back third now. Only about 20 more to go.
Nothing at all. I'm only curious. Does that make me the person standing beside you?
Oh,
Rare pairings have some
no,
interesting.
that's
Yeah,
illegal.
mine definitely tend to fall into a
Then
couple
I
of
must
similar
ask,
camps because
what
I tend to play with the
relationship are
same
you
units
suggesting
that
we
I like
have
to
with
play
it?
with because
Well,
they're the units I like to play with, which is one of the reasons why this one was weird for me because I made sure to. I was trying to
So I
use.
just imagined that I asked Saint
I was trying to use
Peter
all the units at least
and,
somewhat, so that way they
that's
would,
where the picture came from.
you know, they wouldn't fall
I
off.
guess I
My
overdid it, huh?
my end group is still
That's
like the
weird,
units
isn't
I
it?
like to play with,
It's
but
really weird.
you know.
We can scrap it. Let's just get rid of it.
Ah, so that's why. That's amusing.
It is?
Wish you had cider.
Very much. And I think
can't
this
send
is
it
a
to you over the
very
internet,
fitting end
but-
to the book, actually. Saint Keyhole and Bernadetta. They would have made quite
Got
an
some,
interesting pair, I think. In
It
fact,
tastes better because this was
if the two of you had lived
free.
in the
It
same
was
time,
birthday cider.
I'm certain you would share a deep bond.
What? Saint
My brother was
Peter
kind
and me?
enough too.
No way.
come by a
got
couple
my
days
hands
ago
full
and
just
drop
trying
off
to
some
be friends
cider
with
for me.
you.
And
But I've managed that at least, right? Haven't I?
well, now we're here. Mercedes and
Absolutely.
Annette are not together in their ending. You can't tell they're not together? Yeah, Bex, I think you were a couple minutes behind at some point there. Mercedes and Annette definitely should be... Another one that frustrates me like that is that Marianne and Hilda aren't like together in their ending, even though they clearly should be. You know what I mean? Like, clearly, who else should be together but Marianne and Hilda?
A day inside my room. At last I feel as free as a bird that's flown.
Bex, if you've got cider,
Do you have a moment?
this could be you. All of this joy that I'm having right now, sipping on this this can of hard cider. Annette and Mersey are just gals me. Yeah, sure. Unfortunately, we're not going to get that ending in this one because I gave the ring to Mercedes. So Mercedes is taken, unfortunately. So I think Annette winds up with Gilbert.
Eloise! I was sure you, never mind.
Not like winds up, but like they get the paired ending where they go back and they resolve their family issues and like good on the one hand, good for them. On the other hand,
I can't believe I trampled on your emotions like that.
Huh?
who have to get married on the same day with their husbands missing. Exactly. Oh man, if we weren't dating Mercy this time around, definitely Anna and Mercy are like are a very good pairing.
Oh, that. Don't worry about it.
God, there's so many good gay pairings in this game. And like, I'm so happy about that, but also so rarely does the game go the distance of making it like canonically like, no, they are married. You know what I mean? I have to log off now. Have a fun rest of character development, everyone. Thank you for coming by, Carlos. Have a great day. Everyone, mods are away now, so if you want to post cringe, now's the time.
The truth is, I realized I hadn't visited my uncle's grave in a long time. With me not showing up for so long, I imagined him being worried about me.
I see. He must have been quite dear to you.
Hey, that gives me
I kind of turned a corner on Alois too. I like him a lot. I thought it was kind of obnoxious my first round through, but the more I saw of his supports, the more I'm like, oh, he's just genuinely just a big sweet guy, and that's just how he be.
Sure you do. You're connected by me.
Well, I didn't think of that. All right,
Who gets buried next to Dimitri after they both die? No homo. Exactly.
I'll gladly accompany you.
Great. Thanks, Uncle.
Lysithea and Edelgard both die young unless Hahnemann. That is also true. Although I find it hard to believe that that Byleth would get together with Edelgard in the Crimson Flower ending, and then not just like after the war's over immediately call upon Hahnemann and be like, "Yo, Hahnemann, I got a project for you. Here, just take all of the Empire's funding until you figure this shit out." Like, you telling me as soon as the war's over, that's not the first problem they're solving? Regardless of who gets paired with who, like they just need to call them up and get like, "Hey, Hahnemann and guess Linhart maybe. Like, here, take a couple of coffees and get working on this." All right, next up is Dorothea and Manuela. Oh, this is probably a good one.
Dorothea? You look as if something's terribly wrong.
I do? Oh, nothing's wrong. Not really. I've just been thinking about
Like, how is Manuela not bi?
what happens when
Like,
the war's
really? She spends all of her time flirting with the professor, and then when you A rank with her as Femleth, she's like, "It's too bad you're not a man." And it's like, well, then why? Shut up, lady.
In my life, I've met all sorts of people who've lived lots of different ways. So now I'm trying to figure out how I want to live.
Musical theater lesbians, yeah. I don't like the idea of these two paired together romantically, but like I love the idea of them like starting a troupe or something together, or both getting back into the business and supporting each other.
To join the Officers Academy as a professor. Then I joined this war because
Dragon Pope is bi. That is true.
Hoping for an end to it. Peace for the world. Even though I took
Come to think of it, this game has very few dragons in it.
I still haven't found the man of my dreams.
I'm just now realizing that. Like, how many dragons do you actually fight in this game?
Out there somewhere. You know, There is one thing I want
just-
for the future.
It's just
So,
Rhea,
got a
right?
dream after all.
Well, it's a dream I've always
Because all the other, like, there's a ton of
You'll
demonic
get
beasts
to
and shit, and I
see
guess there's
what
some wyvern riders or whatever, but like, there's only the one
I don't
dragon.
get it.
Manuela is just too in denial of being bi to
When
marry
you left the
Affleck.
opera
Yeah.
company, I took your place.
Manuela was
Center
definitely bi,
stage
but
and
she
back.
grew up in a different time.
Everyone
She
should-
buried it young and never really
I
had the
wish
time
you
to
chose
re-examine
for
that
me
part of
and
herself.
you. I wish we stood on that stage together. I
Also,
have
look
to
at the
tell you
fucking
something.
corners and the way those street curves in the back.
The
Oh, it's
first
so.
time I
As
saw
soon as you
on
see the
stage,
fucking cylinder stuff, you're like,
felt you were
oh,
the one
it looks
I
so
wanted to hear
bad.
sing. I already had
Like, I get
plans to
it's a
leave
good
the opera
solution to the
company,
problem, but like,
but when I
then
met
don't
you,
point the camera at the parts
knew
where
I
it clearly
couldn't
has
leave
faults.
until I saw you take your rightful
You know, like,
place.
keep the camera pointed on the parts of the
right,
cylinder
though.
where it's
It
not.
would have been nice to stand beside you on stage, even just once.
Maybe we weren't together then.
Also, excuse me.
We're together here, now. And in the future, maybe it won't be so bad if you never find that man of your dreams.
What do you mean by that?
You and me. I won't find a guy.
Actually, you know what? I take it
We can
back.
just
They've been through a
be
war together.
together.
I think it's kind of adorable.
I think that'd be pretty nice, don't you? Living together and doing whatever we want.
Some solo endings are very good. Yeah.
No, that could be nice. It'd be like you and me.
Also, it would be very
finally
hypocritical of
together
me
on
to
stage.
judge age gap
The
in
light
relationships.
shining
I think
down,
I think I've
our
talked about it
gowns
on
and jewels
in some Two
sparkling.
Queers episodes before,
Just
but I've
us.
definitely been in
Sparkling
one or
and
two
stay
relationships
friends
with a
forever.
pretty noticeable age gap. But that's neither here nor there. Yay! No more Petra. Sad face. All right, it's time for Llama Man. Everyone line up for Llama Man. Lorenz and Lysithia.
Lysithia, it's no good for you to expose yourself.
After his
to
coronation,
strong
Dimitri spent his
sunlight.
life performing and ruling justly over
The chill could
Fodlan.
steal upon you at any
Oh, that's
moment.
really good.
You really
That's a
ought to
great
be
unpaired
ornamental.
ending.
You have been running yourself absolutely ragged.
God, you thought we were done with the Llama Man, but no, there's more.
Enough is
You don't
enough.
like it because Manuela knew Dorothy as a... You know what? That's fair, Bex. That's definitely a fair... Because, yeah, that actually... That changes things a lot.
That's great and all.
I hadn't
but
considered
I
that.
feel fine today, and I'm perfectly capable of caring for myself.
Only you can bully
I don't have
Lawrence?
to take a
Fair
rest.
enough.
I'm overloaded
Hey,
with work, and I have less time than everyone
I
else.
don't go around picking fights. I
Just
just...
wanted to
if
let
one
go
happens to land in my
in
lap,
order to
though,
the
then...
Alliance and
not
put
much
my
I can do
parents'
about it.
minds at ease.
No need to rush. How
Hold
can
on, I
you
need to see if I can
spend
find the
your
llama
lifespan as
Lorenz
shortened
image that
anyway?
keeps being in my head.
I do not know who decided
If it wasn't for that age gap...
Consider me
Yeah,
special.
I'm hesitant
If you are healthy
to
now,
judge
and
age
if you take
gaps
proper care of yourself,
that
you
much
ought to live
because
just as
consenting
long as
adults and all
anyone
that,
else.
but it's definitely
It's all well and
something
good,
that...
But those vitamin-packed sweets you
It's not
brought
inherently
tasted
wrong, but it
weird.
can definitely be a
If you
red
want a
flag.
healthy
Like, I
body,
don't
then
want
you
to say
need
that
to
it's
start with what
it's
you
not
eat.
without cause
You
for like
have
a
a point.
moment's thought, you know?
But those health sweets are gross.
I sent for the finest in wholesome, healthy treats for you. I asked only for the very sweetest.
That was pretty nice of you. I'm sorry, Lawrence. Thank you for being so thoughtful. Still, I don't need bushels and bushels of them. Gaining a ton of weight won't exactly lengthen my lifespan either. I mean, I like to be able to hang out with you as much as possible. And
Alright, I didn't
for
find
as
it on a
long as
cursory
possible.
Google image search, but, you know, it's out there.
Oh, I'm so glad. I feel the same. Even in an otherwise perfect future, I still cannot see a happy life for myself without you in it.
Lorenz, calm yourself, my dude.
The more time we spend together, the more essential to me you become. So let us walk side by side toward a future together.
Yikes! Keep it down, will you?
Why are you flustered? What is there to be embarrassed about? You know I will always care for you.
Okay, noted. Will you just calm down already?
You need not worry about a thing. I will look after you no matter what may come. After all, the future
When
of
someone wants to date
Fodlan
someone
rests
super young,
upon
like,
my
yeah,
shoulders.
see, that's what makes it weird, is
I
that when
won't give
someone
up
is
on
like,
myself either.
no, my target age
Thanks for
demographic is
caring, Lawrence.
just new adults. Like, that's weird. When late 20s or 30s men think that they should be that, like, that's their target age group. Like, that's weird. When you only look at flirting with people from that age group, That's weird. That speaks to something else. Like that's something else going on there. Not like a consenting adults thing. That's just a like you need to address some things about yourself, buddy. But for a while I was actually no, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. You can find that episode if you want some. I'm sure it's out there.
Did you hear me just now? What did you think?
Marvelous.
I have no idea what episode it was where I shared that story though, so good luck. You'll just have to watch everything that on Two Queers Play, which you can find at http://catgirl.training. You just have to watch all of them from the very beginning, and make sure on each video to hit the like button, and also comment, and also subscribe. Back to bullying the purple boy. I think you mean the blue boy. Lorenz is blue.
That is not. I mean to say that you skillfully
Lorenz is definitely
applied your
blue.
own interpretation in the music.
Interpretation?
It might look purple on the stream, but like look at his color in comparison to the color of the vignetting. He's meant to be blue.
Thinking at all. I simply yield my heart to the poetry, and the emotion follows naturally.
I believe that is what they call genius.
F off.
I hope you will permit me to listen again. I would like to hear it up close next time.
Of course. Next time I'll perform a private
Fuck
show.
off, that's
just the two of us.
Oh yeah, only if you think blue lions are the purple lion's house.
Never. I wasn't mocking you.
What do you think, the GameCube? No, GameCube's purple.
To see some more of your poetry.
Oh my god. Okay, we had this same problem. For whatever reason, our TV and our capture software have very different interpretations of blue and purple. I think I posted a picture of it once while we were playing Going Under, but like it's real bad on our TV and on our capture software.
The feelings so direct. Your poems have touched my heart. They are so true to life.
I suppose there is a certain appeal in the portrayal.
I know I tweeted out a picture of it at one point, but for the game we were playing for Friday's episode also has the same problem where it's a lot of purple and a lot of that very kind of blue. And in the capture software, it just looks nothing like what it comes out on the TV as, and it's so disorienting. God.
Yes, I wrote that after I heard you sing the first part.
Let me see if I can find that. I know I posted it on my Twitter at one point.
The inspiration to continue, though it is still quite unpolished and not at all ready for a broader readership, I feel.
Unpolished? No, Lawrence. It's beautiful. Thank you. To think that my voice inspired you. Yet, it's you who inspires my voice. I'm so excited to start a new song.
Yes, please do.
There, I posted the link for it in chat. That's what this looks like on our side. Anyway, Raphael and Raphael and Ignatz. This one's very good.
Hey, Raphael.
We're getting there. This is number 47. We've only got a handful more left. Lawrence doesn't deserve. You're absolutely right. Lawrence doesn't deserve a MILF.
Here from my sis. Oh, a letter from Maya. I haven't seen her in so long.
I haven't seen your sister in forever, Raphael.
She's still a shrimp. It's been a while since I saw her, but she's probably only up to your shoulders.
Wow. I can't believe she's gotten that tall.
I wrote to tell her about how we're friends again. Do you remember this?
Is that the picture I drew for her?
She sent it along with the letter. I guess she held on to it since we were kids. All right, that's enough looking. She said to show it to you and send it right back.
All right.
To think she's handling my little doodle with such reverence. That warms my heart. I remember the day I
Now
gave
here's the
Maya that
important
trophy.
question.
She looks so
We're coming up
happy.
towards the back end of all these support
never knew I could
convos.
make people happy
At
with
the
those.
end, this save
Was a
file is right
revelation.
at the final chapters
Drawing and
for Blue
painting ever
Lions.
since.
Do y'all want me to
Hopes
do
of
the
being
last
an
2
artist
chapters of
one day.
Blue Lions just to kind of like
Much better.
cover it up?
So it
You know,
must
kind of
have
like give
paid
it some
off.
resolution?
I bet you could be a
That might
real
take.
artist.
Oh, that probably will take like at least 2
No,
hours though.
That's not possible, I'm
Mm.
afraid. I have to
Or should we
consider
just
my
leave it
parents'
at
wishes.
the support
Who
conversations and
cares what
that's
your
it?
parents want? It's not like you're a noble or nothing. Your fate is your own.
Time to kill Edelgard, I guess. That fight is so good. I love that fight so much.
And I'm gonna support you with whatever dream you got.
Like fighting your way up to her, and she's taking pot shots at you the whole way until it's good. Might be a bit too much. That's what I'm thinking. Is that it might? I think My original estimation for this was that it was going to be an hour and a half to 2 hours, which was clearly a bit of an underestimate. So I'm like, okay, after that I'll do Blue Lions. But no, if this is going to go on for as long as it is, I think it's probably better to just leave it be.
Good point. I can certainly try to capture your likeness. I'll paint you with a warm, cheerful expression on your face.
Yeah, it might take like a couple hours, so we'll skip it. We'll leave the purity of the sanctity of the stream intact. The stream will literally just be 63 Fire Emblem 3 Houses support conversations. Which, I gotta admit, I did not expect to have this much fun while we were doing this. I was worried that I was gonna do this because it was such a silly idea and then it was just gonna flop. But honestly, I've had a really great time just chatting with all y'all. This has been really, really fun. Raphael and Lysithia.
Where is that darn ladder?
Need help with something, Lysithia?
I can't find the ladder anywhere, and I needed to check out the books up on that top shelf.
Want me to just grab one for you?
No, I need to be able to dig around myself.
No problem. You can sit on my shoulders instead. Up you go.
Hang on a sec. That's not... I hope nobody saw that. Anyway.
So many of the male characters in this game have very, very difficult time respecting personal space of other people. It's like, you don't just pick up people. Lysithia, there's literally a rolling step ladder behind you. You can see it in the image. You can just get that and roll it to the shelf you need it.
Yeah, I can't help but think about it.
Yeah, you remind me of my little sister. That's great, Raphael. That's wonderful.
Never had adults around to do stuff for her. That's probably why she grew up to be the kind of kid who wants to do everything on her own.
That's certainly something I can relate to.
I keep telling her that it's okay to rely on her big bro a little bit. Like, when there's stuff she can't do because she's too small. She just needs to ask someone bigger to do it. I told her that she could help me when I'm having trouble with stuff too. Then we would be even.
Young or old, we can all help one another out. We each have our strengths and weaknesses. Receiving help and providing help in return.
The amount of books here is mind-boggling.
So simple, really.
I thought it was so too, because like you have this whole library with wall-to-wall full of books, and there's another level above it that you can't get to. But think about how long Garrigmach has been there. Like almost 1,000 years, or like 1,000 years by the end of the game, right? That is not 1,000 years worth of books collected.
I bet it's a disaster knowing
That is definitely not 1,000 years worth of books collected.
But I've got some rules on how to keep things tight.
Even given the setting and like how rare some of the rare books might be in comparatively, like we know that's not exactly the case with the Nambadians who have been there forever and have more technology. There should be way more books here than we see in the game. Same size as your university library? In game, right? How big is your university library then? Because in this game, it's only the one room, and like there's a second level to that room, and it's just one bookshelf around the edge. That's not a lot. That's not a lot at all. Like think about like my university libraries were like multi-story, like huge floors full of books. I'm not saying they have to be the same. I'm just saying that like after 1,000 years, you're telling me that's all you collected? Really? 40,000 to 400,000 scrolls? That's a pretty big number, but that's way more than whatever they had here. So like exactly, you go to a small rural or artsy. Okay, that makes sense then. Okay, but like there should be way more books in this library.
Marianne, come here, quick!
Although the fact that there isn't is also kind of addressed in the game because Rhea is also purposely keeping certain books and texts out of general view, and you get to see some of that stuff in the Abyss later on. But you know, it's neither here or there.
You're right. Do you mind if I handle this? Hello there, Mr. Bird. How do you do?
I love the supports between Marianne and Raphael, because Raphael is just so precious. Like He really just, he sees Marianne talking to birds and he's like, I want to talk to birds too.
Foraging for berries lately. It would be ideal if those berries were growing in another forest nearby. Then you wouldn't have to.
Are you hungry, Mr. Bird? I got just what you need.
Are those bugs? Yuck.
Look at him go. He's
Oh my
loving it.
God, Raphael.
He's gonna get so big
I
and
love him.
strong after this.
Let Raphael talk to birds too.
That was disgusting. But how did you know he was hungry?
I could tell by looking at him. He looked hungry and weak. More importantly, I saw what you did. That bird wasn't speaking human, so you gotta understand birdese. I knew it.
Oh, about that.
Oh no,
I'm sorry,
Raphael.
Raphael, but I need to tell you the truth. I can sort of understand what animals are thinking when I look at them, but I can't speak to them. I'm sorry for leading you on.
Oh, I see. What about me then?
God, Raphael, Raphael is such a sweet boy. Oh my God.
No,
Protect
Raphael,
that man.
I can't.
Birdies.
Well, of course not. You're not even
The
looking at
birdies
me.
falcon.
You gotta look at my eyes.
Nope, still can't do it.
I guess I just gotta tell you. I'm thinking it would be nice if you talked to me the way you talk to animals.
What do you mean?
God, Raphael is such a sweet. Oh, I love him so much.
I just wish you'd talk
He
to me like
deserves
that too.
to be happy. Let the man be happy.
I'm so sorry, Raphael. I didn't know.
What if I tried this? Cheep cheep cheery choo choo doo.
Raphael bird sounds. Oh, this is what I needed. This is what I needed.
I should have talked to you
Raphael is the
birdies
only
sooner.
man. I will accept this.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that one.
Is 30 on a shelf a decent estimate? Depends on what size shelves you're working with.
I think I'll have to pass.
If they're like really tiny, but they're not, is the thing. 30 on a shelf is probably a bit of an overestimate. Just speaking as someone who worked in a bookstore for over half a decade, and then got fired because I wouldn't work underneath their COVID. Neither here nor there. Let's go to support number 50.
Hey, Raphael. I finally finished that necklace.
Raphael is the only one that starts with everything. That's a good way of putting it. Raphael's got shit figured out already. He is just done as a person, and that's
So
fine.
shiny. You're like an artist, Hilda. How'd you do this?
Just like I told you, I put the flowers and the shiny rocks in a bottle, and then poured in some resin to preserve everything. I thought the flowers you had were looking a little pathetic, so I added a few of my own. It was hard work. Making
Oh,
sure
Hilda.
The flowers and the stones were spread evenly, getting rid of the
I went from liking Hilda to like hating
this?
Hilda to back over to
Are you hanging
liking
around your
Hilda
neck?
again.
I thought you used the one I gave you.
Oh yeah, no, that's a cord I braided. I was going to use metal, but some people are allergic to metal, so I figured better safe than sorry.
Hey Mercury,
Anyway,
welcome
You
back.
didn't give me much to work with, and look what I pulled off. I am a miracle worker.
You need to make your flower bouquet?
Gorgeous. Beautiful.
What? Oh, you're talking about. I
Never
get you
seen
now.
anything like
Okay.
it. Thank you, Hilda.
Whoa, hold up. What's with the blubber?
Hilda dives for Claude against Edelgard, then he bounces. That's so rough. Whenever I do that map on Crimson Flower, I try to make sure to you got a Lego bouquet. That's cool. I try to make sure to keep her alive, even though it doesn't matter in the end. Like she doesn't get you don't get to see what happens. It's basically the same thing, but get a unit with encloser and a really weak bow and just keep her from moving for the entire round, and
You're embarrassing me
well,
here.
that'll work.
If you're really that happy, I'm glad I put some effort into something.
Because a bunch of her endings included. Yeah, like I really wish it showed up a little bit more, but it's really cute when it does.
Sweet of you, but no, I don't want to put in effort and then disappoint people. It's dispiriting, not to mention tiring.
But what if they're not disappointed?
One other thing that's kind of weird is that Hilda is set up to kind of like be Claude's like retainer character. Like, you know, Dimitri's got Dedue, and Edelgard has Hubert. You know, and you can't recruit them into other houses because they're Hilda is kind of set up to be that way for Claude, except you can still poach her into other houses, which is really weird. Which means Claude doesn't really get a character like that. Which I guess makes sense, because, you know, of Claude. But,
Sometimes big brothers
God. The more I talk about Claude in the late game, the more I think Claude's kind of an asshole. That's a sad realization to come to. In a few endings, she invents art school. Yeah, she does. And her ending with Marianne as well. They send each other little craftables, and it's like, just let them be gay, damn it. She's just Claude's bestie. Yeah. You know what? Next time I play Golden Deer, I really need to pay attention to their supports, because I know very little about what Claude and Hilda's relationship is actually like. But I do know that Claude just doesn't get a retainer like that, so.
Well, good. I look forward to it. In the meantime, hold me close to your
And you
heart.
can't poach Hilda in Crimson Flower, which is just sad.
That's what the necklace would say if it could talk. Hold me close to your heart.
I used to be sad that you couldn't poach Catherine, or that you couldn't recruit Catherine in Crimson Flower, but it really wouldn't make sense, because there is no scenario in which she would turn her sword against Rhea. Rhea could straight up show her her true face, and she'd be like, yep, I'm down.
Hey, writing to your sister again?
You bet. Gotta reply to these things as soon as they come in.
You had one last week, too. It's great to see you're both so good about staying in touch. It's especially important when there's a war going on.
All right, we're just on time. About a sixth of the way left to go, and we're at 2:30 p.m. Yeah, that's about right.
My sister wrote to say how much she loved the painting supplies you sent.
Good. I'm glad gathering those pigments paid off.
You even made her a brush. I really appreciate you doing all that for her.
I was fascinated with painting at that age. I was a pretty artistic kid, if you can believe it. Not a lot of time for it when you're hungry, though.
Sounds like you had a pretty tough time growing up, too, huh?
I guess so. We never thought of it that way.
See,
But it's true
Raphael's
that
an
children in
absolute.
my
He
village
absolutely
don't
is.
usually get to
He
choose
is,
their
and we love
futures.
him for it.
Any one of us
Leonie
could
has
have the
so many
talent or
interesting
artistic genius and
things in her
never even
backstory that
noticed.
it's so.
I was one of the lucky ones.
They
I only got
really
to follow my
do her a
passion thanks to
disservice
my
by making
father
her
and all
so
the other
focused
folks.
on her
That's why,
relationship to
once I come
Gerald
into my own, the first thing I'll
in
do is
the
head
main, in
back
like
there
the
and
parts you
help
see
the
of her in
other
the main
kids.
story. It's
Oh, wow. It's like all the kids in your village are counting on you.
Leonie got done dirty.
No need to exaggerate it.
Okay, and also I get like in a
It's not
cast
like
of
I'm
like
unique.
however many
You're
characters
working
this
hard
game
for your
has that are
sister's future,
playable,
aren't you?
like and each have relationships with each other.
Like me and you
It's
are both
not
carrying
going
big
to.
weights.
You
We should
can't
try
really
sharing
give
the weight
everyone the
with each
same amount
other.
of depth. I get
You
that,
know,
but
lighten both of our loads.
I feel like they could have done a little bit more with some of these characters. Oh, big muscles and a
We share
bigger
our
heart.
problems.
Yeah,
Then we
that's
only gotta
Raphael.
carry half the weight, right? It works
Oh.
out for everybody.
It's probably a good thing you
Such a
didn't
sweet
try to
boy.
take on your family's business. If you take half of my burden and I take half of yours,
Poor working class
the
upbringing compared to a
total's
lot of the
still
other
same.
characters' childhoods rather than
Nah,
about Gerald.
that doesn't
Exactly.
sound right.
Because you get
Everything's
hints of it
lighter
when
you don't gotta carry it alone.
I think it's a support she has with Sedith, where they talk about like because they both fish. They're both avid fishers, but Leonie fishes
With
for
the right
food,
attitude
and
and the
Sedith
right
kind of
heart to
fishes
share the
for,
burden, maybe it
you
is
know,
only half the
idle
weight.
relaxation.
Now you're getting it.
And
It's a
they
waste
have a
of
really
energy
good
to struggle
support,
alone when there's someone
series
who
of
can
support
help you.
conversations about like
That's true.
how that's
And I do
how
make waste,
their
as
different
you well
approaches
know.
to the same
So when it
hobby
comes
has
to
been
working
shaped by
toward
their
the
lives,
future
and like
you're
that's really
after,
cool.
You know I won't fall
You know what they say about
short.
people with big feet?
Great.
They have big emotions.
And you should
Aw.
never fall short
Lord's
of sharing
character
a
close
big
to them,
meal
and
with
then
me,
their
too.
tertiary characters. Not well. I don't even think the characters close to them get as nearly as much love as they like. Hubert, Dedue gets a fair amount of characterization, but Hubert is probably the most one-dimensional character in this game. Like Hubert has very, very little depth. Not saying it's not there. I'm just saying that there's very little of it. Raphael and Flane. I love this one so much.
Nice work. Here you go. Drink up.
Oh, thank you. This
One of
water
them is
tastes
fishing for compliments.
absolutely
Nice.
divine.
Your shots are really coming from the gut now. I bet you're getting stronger too.
I'm not so sure I'm stronger, but somehow when I shout, I'm able to move more books than normal. Although my brother becomes
You
very
really like Hubert.
anxious
You're filling the
anytime
gaps
he
of this
hears
character
me
myself.
shouting.
That's fair. Like, even as a huge proponent of the Crimson Flower route, I can't bring myself to like Hubert. He's just...
Oh no, thank you. I'm just happy to have someone to shout
Maybe he's got some stuff buried deep in his supports, but like so very little. If that's true, then like none of that comes to the surface when you're playing the game through normally. Like, he's just so one-dimensional. It's
Isn't that
just...
wonderful? Come along, Raphael's muscles. We can do this.
I get it.
It
I
is
get
my
why.
wish that
It's just...
someday I'll be able to lift a log all on my own with
He's
the
such a
arms of
boring
mine.
character for someone who's supposed to be like Edelgard's right-hand man, right? Like, right? Like, how is her second in command so fucking boring?
All right? You've already got big brains. But if we can get you big muscles
Like, the
too,
dude's got the
you're
same
gonna
thing
be
going on where he's
invincible.
like, he's, you know, completely devoted to Dimitri, but there are so many more interesting reasons behind it. And that gets explored in their route. But it's just not explored. Yeah. This is the best support conversation. You can't convince me otherwise. Just a big man and a tiny lady shouting their guts out at each other. Tell me that's not the best support. Come on now. Well, sir, but Deduz and Dimitri have a backstory. Exactly. And Hubert's just like, nope. Ignatz and Lysithea.
Hey.
Oh, Lysithea. Something I can do for you?
Can you help me out with my shopping?
Yes, of course. You need me to carry stuff?
Actually, can you pick up some tea for me? I'd do it, but I'm drowning in work.
You're so busy you can't go shopping. Okay. Do you have a favorite kind of tea?
I'm not too picky. I just like having it around, really.
Lysithea, live fast and die young, but not by choice.
One question. Why me? You don't really need my help for this.
I just thought I could lean on you a bit. You know, rather than trying to do everything on
Hubert
my
is
own.
the Oberstein to Edelgard's shitty Reinhardt.
Well,
I don't understand the reference.
glad you
Is that
decided to
another?
approach
That's another Fire Emblem, right?
But for this particular task,
Reinhardt? I know
you
Reinhardt.
might be better off doing it yourself.
But I'll believe you.
Oh?
There are so many different kinds of tea, and I'm not very discerning. Well, what if I get you one you don't like? When I do my own shopping, I pick a tea at random. Otherwise, I'd be paralyzed by all the choices. It's the same with food. Sometimes I stare and stare at the options and never decide.
You look like you were doing
Legend of the
just
Galactic
fine
Hero. I
once you get
need
groceries
to
the other day.
at some point I must experience
I really
Legend of the
had to push
Galactic
myself
Heroes.
to do that alone. I don't think I can do that again. Sorry.
Uh-huh. So, you've stopped trying to do things on your own, then?
Yeah. Still, though.
Honestly, I wish there were more excuses for me
today,
to do streams
how
like
about
this
you have some of my
because
tea? If you do.
Sounds nice, sure.
it is really nice to just
Brewing while
get
you're
some
at it?
chill streams where we can,
Though I can't do it
you know,
as
where the
smoothly as
gameplay
Lawrence,
isn't
I'm
super
afraid.
demanding from me,
I'll get it
and
ready
we can
right
just
away.
kind of like chat
Feel free
and
to start
chill and like.
focusing on your work.
I hope y'all are enjoying this. It's not not a regular thing, obviously.
What?
Like, I don't think this would work like every stream or even like
I mean, you seem
like this is definitely not something that can work on the regular. But once in a while, it's
Really?
nice to just kind of
How so?
kick back and watch
You're
some
fun,
cutscenes together.
You're easy to be around, and you
Edelgard,
rarely
Dimitri,
complain when you help
Reinhardt, and
others.
Yang Wen say they
Well,
have a conversation about
I'm just
change that
pouring you
mirrors
some
those kind.
tea.
Huh.
I'm
All right.
not sure that qualifies as help.
Chat and chill and vibe and
It's
Vil.
not easy for me
There
to
you go.
rely on people, but with
Wouldn't it be
you,
Vil with
it's
a
different.
VH though?
Well, there aren't many things I can do,
Vil.
frankly. What I can do, I will do. So if you need anything, ask me, and I'll try to help.
You really are unreliable, as it turns out. Guess I'll just have to take your word for it.
Alrighty. This should be the final. It looks like there's too much. Did I miscount some? I don't think I miscounted, but. Well, we'll see how it clears up as we go along, right? Ignatz and Marianne.
What's that about? Marianne, I saw you on the training grounds earlier. It looked like...
Oh, I get you now, Mercury. That's fair.
Oh, no. It was nothing.
Are you sure? Nothing happened
Visual
in
novel
between
games would be
training?
good for this type of stream. You'd think so, but not really. Visual novel games, at least the way that Vivian and I tend to play them, are very like... They actually require us to do a lot of reading and that means a lot less back and forth with chat. Like when we play visual novel type games, it's usually us very focused on playing our parts in the story as it goes on and kind of bouncing characters off of each other and very little chatting with, you know, chat. The difference here is that this is like mostly cutscenes, right? This is stuff. This is essentially 3 hours of cutscenes. It's stuff playing itself out for us, and that frees me up to use my voice to chat with y'all.
Can you see where I'm going with this?
Flothen isn't ready for really swole flame in 1,000 years. Oh no! Final boss of Three Houses 2 is just a really swole Sithleen.
Please, try looking up. Looking people in the eye. You'll see something
can see
you've
that.
never seen before. People worry about you and rely on you. You'll see that on your allies' faces. In a way, you'll see what they're thinking.
You may be right. It was my fault for looking down. Thank you, Ignaz.
Do you think the next Fire Emblem is going to be a direct sequel to Three Houses?
Of course. Look, we both saw the
I think if they do another Fire Emblem for Switch, which is not likely, but if they do, it'll probably be a direct sequel.
need to speak to be understood.
If they wait until the next console generation, it'll probably be its own
Look
thing.
at us. That'll be a good start.
I can
You know,
certainly
barring the next Fire Emblem being another remake or something like that.
Is something wrong? Did I say something to upset you?
Oh no, to the contrary. I just realized that I was missing something.
Oh, Ignaz. Ignaz the incel.
Remarkable beauty.
Direct sequel would even be about? Like, Fodlan another couple thousand, or another couple, like, imagine Fodlan like 100 years into the future, now unified under whatever messy justification they come up with, and now trying to actually become a player on the, you know, actually trying to become a world, like trying to open up themselves to the rest of the world and what that looks like. Ignaz and Hilda.
Oof. Capsized the teapot. Tea leaves on the carpet. This'll be
Ignaz is INN in it, and Incel's INN. You know what? You're absolutely right, Mercury.
Is something wrong?
Ignaz, I accidentally knocked over my teapot. I drunk all the tea already, thank the goddess. But the
Either way, I'm
tea
sure they could
went
find
right
some,
into
you know,
the
they could make up some
carpet.
conflict. But
Oh, that's a mess. Here, let me help. I can leave stains if you're not careful.
But don't you have someone
as long as they don't talk about who did.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
don't
or if
worry.
they do like some like Deus Ex thing where they kind of just hand wave it and all of them become canon somehow.
Ooh,
And like, you know, what actually happened isn't always exactly the route you play out.
Ah, yes.
They
The
definitely
weather's
could work
quite
it out,
splendid,
and I would be interested
and
to
I
see
found
it.
a place where some gorgeous flowers are blooming. But
Because
the
they're
flowers
they're
aren't going
they're
anywhere this
basically more.
second.
Yeah.
Bring us up.
Honestly, imagine Byleth showing up as a boss character and then staring at you and not
Ignaz.
saying
I'm
anything.
sorry to keep you away from
Tell me that wouldn't be amazing.
That's okay. It didn't stain at least.
Like,
Picked up
Byleth
the
as a
out of the
boss
carpet.
character, and she just
Still going
stares
painting?
at you.
Or is it too late in the day?
No. I
God.
think time-wise it'll be fine.
That'd be great.
If you're not doing anything, Hilda, would you care to join me?
Byleth with a gun. There you go. They won't.
I'm sorry,
Byleth won't
I
say
didn't
anything
mean
about
what
why they're
for.
fighting or who they're fighting
Forget what I
for. They're
said.
just there to
I'm
fight, and they
sure
will
you're busy
beat you.
anyway.
You didn't let
And
me say
you
anything.
they will not tell you
Well,
anything.
No, but
Bec-
he didn't reply, so
Head empty stare as she's stabbing you.
I never said I didn't
That's the
want
Ashen
to.
Demon for
I
you,
was just
still going after
surprised.
1,000 years.
I'd love to see those pretty flowers you mentioned. I'm glad you invited
Some of
me.
her endings seem to imply that
that's good. Wait, you're
she could die earlier.
glad?
Of course I am.
But
I
then
like
some of her
being
endings
invited
also
to
imply
things
that she lives
silly.
forever. It's unclear.
Right, of course.
But-
It's affirming.
Actually, you know what?
See?
I
You
think
get it.
Crimson Flower
So
ending,
there's
she
no need
doesn't
to
live
worry
forever,
that an
right?
invitation is burdening someone. It feels good to be asked.
Because she
Of
couldn't.
course,
Because
of
now
course.
she's her. Now it's her own heart beating, and
In
suddenly
addition to
she's
seeing
got
the
her
flowers with
mortal
me,
flesh again.
Would you
And
like to help with my painting?
I wouldn't want to screw up your opus.
No longer has the
I'm not
goddess
much of a
power
painter.
and all that goodness.
No, I meant that I'd like to paint you. The flowers all around you. Oh, that's too much, isn't it? Forget I said anything.
Silly, you didn't even let me answer.
Who would be around in a
But
game
you're
like that?
right.
So, like, depending on whether or not you've killed them, like,
I'm sorry,
mentioned to be immortal, Rhea said is Flame,
I'm
Catherine
not
Byleth.
up for that,
Yuri's mentioned to be
unless
immortal?
Your painting of me will look really, really cute. Can you make that
Catherine is
happen?
mentioned to be immortal?
Huh?
I don't know about. I do not know the
course.
context for those
I'll
two.
paint you cute as a button.
Good.
Um,
Shouldn't be too hard.
but yeah, like all of the saints, obviously.
Coming on.
Byleth, in non-Crimson Flower endings. If not immortal, at least like, you know, really, really, really old. Mentioned with Yuri? Oh! Yuri is a twink and they're immortal. You'll have to face it, someday your twinks will grow up to be twunks who have 9-to-5 jobs.
Hey, Ignatz. Drawing again?
I am.
Catherine was given... You're right, Bex. You're right. I completely forgot about that. Catherine does have Rhea's blood in her. Because that's what Rhea did to save her that one time.
Like I said,
You're
it's
right.
your calling.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, Catherine is going to be around forever. Sorry, Shamir, your wife is going to outlive you.
Practicing archery today?
More just double checking this bowstring. I want to make sure it's ready for the next battle.
Okay. Well, let's both do our best.
That's the spirit. Does that mean you finally accepted that you're an artist?
I'll try to discuss it with my parents after the war. There's little demand for knights in peacetime. In fact, painting might be a more reliable way for me to support my family. I'll try to persuade them with arguments along those lines.
Good point. I'm glad you've got some confidence.
Come to think of it, Leonie.
But yeah, like you
what
could
would
have a
do when
cast
the
of
war's
characters
over?
that were still around.
Me?
Like
I'm
even
going
after a
to
great
become
time skip.
top-tier mercenary.
And
A
that would be
mercenary in
really cool
peacetime?
to see what the world looks like then.
Even after the war's over, there'll be plenty of work for me to do before peace really takes hold.
Or fuck, you
I'll
could
pay
even do
what
like
I
a
owe my
direct
village
follow-up.
back
Like
with
a lot of
interest.
the endings like
After
leave
that,
open
I
like
don't know.
how they're going to
Never
deal
thought
with
about
certain
it.
problems.
I'm sure you can do whatever you put your mind to.
What about a
Hard
Fire
work.
Emblem game? Like,
Lots of
what about a
options
game
just
where
don't
like they
suit
have
me.
to reckon with the
I mean,
fact that oh shit, the
you imagine
Nabatians have
me
like
as a songstress?
modern fucking technology.
But yeah, I don't
Actually,
know.
you know what? Any
Once I
game
pay off
after
my
a time
debts, I
skip
guess
in
I'll
this
just have to
setting
find something
is
new.
going to have so
I
much
don't
higher
think there's any
technology.
rush. You could
Like
travel,
if we
relax,
go even like
just
100
think
years
about
in the
it.
future in this setting
Travel, huh?
with
There's an idea.
without Rhea in the picture control like keeping stuff from evolving anymore.
You were
The
really
setting's gonna
excited
look
about
nothing
different
like
styles
this.
across the world, weren't you? Don't you want more of that? Maybe
They're
we
gonna
can
have
see the sky in a new
skyscrapers.
shade.
They're gonna have cars.
Yes, I suppose I do. I'd like to see the whole world.
If your parents object, we'll just say I kidnapped you.
I was about to say, imagine a
feel free
modern
to say
Fire
that
Emblem,
even
but
if
like,
you go
okay,
alone.
actually imagine a modern Fire Emblem.
Oh,
I
no,
love
I
Tokyo
want us
Mirage
to see the
Sessions, but
world
it's a
together.
different
Your
beast.
presence makes every landscape more beautiful.
Lawrence Giuliani is one of my favorite ships.
Hold on. What's
Lauren-
this all of a sudden?
Oh,
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That is definitely a merit to their, but I like.
Hilarious, Ignatz.
I still
Never a
annoyed that
dull
it takes
moment with
Lawrence
you
that
around.
fucking long to realize that, you know? Hanneman mass produces Crest in one of his endings. Skyscrapers cards in 100 years is probably not it. Really? I mean, look, maybe not. Some kind of magic tech, though. Like, I mean, look at the jump between, like, Avatar and Korra. You know, over the course, like, something like that is perfectly reasonable for a couple generations of growth. Ignatz and Flame! Yay.
Flame! Excuse me, quick question. Can I paint you?
Oh, hello, Ignatz.
Think of, like, late 1800s? Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I'd like to paint your portrait, Flame. For some reason, whenever I try to visualize Saint Sethlene, I think of you.
Yeah, okay, maybe
No
Cars and
wonder
Skyscrapers
repeatedly
was the
found
wrong idea,
someone's
but,
eyes
like,
boring holes
the
in
setting
the
would
back
be
of my
decidedly
head.
much more
You're
modern.
quite lucky my brother hasn't noticed. It would be
Like,
wise to
it-
back
like, it
away
would
from me
be-
before he does.
It would not look
Although-
anything like this game does.
I shall agree to your request.
And I think that'd be cool to
On
finally
the
explore that in
understanding
a
you paint
Fire
me
Emblem
to be
title.
more illustrious than Saint Sethlene.
More illustrious than the statue? Surely you mean as illustrious.
Am I not the more illustrious? The more breathtaking?
Well, true, you are.
I forget,
a
does
sight to
Ignatz,
behold.
does Flame
Though
tell
I'm not
Ignatz
sure
who
about
she
the
is in this one?
competitive
I don't
tenor
think
of
so.
that question. I'd expect you, as an admirer of Saint Sethlene, to speak more Admiringly?
An admirer, hmm? You say such funny things.
Does Ignatz figure it out?
Now then, would you like me to pose? Oh, I have many ideas up my sleeve.
A pose? Ah, no.
A
no
lord
need.
on a motorcycle beheading
Just sit
people with a
down.
claymore. Exactly.
Certain
Who
about
doesn't?
that? It sounds rather dull. How long will it take you?
Okay, yeah. So they wouldn't jump like directly to like cyber tech. I can
That's
accept
okay.
that, but
You can just come
you
by
can't tell me
whenever
we
you have
wouldn't
time.
have like some kind of
Oh, and
industrial
if you
stuff
don't
going
mind,
on.
Could you tell me some more stories about her? The stories you tell about Saint Sethlene are so much more vivid than the other legends I've heard. She seems so impressive, so fierce.
Okay, do we think
I admire
Ignatz
her
has
too.
figured this out, or
Actually, I have
Fire Emblem
changed my
Awakening
mind.
was planned to be set in the
No
future?
longer do you
Damn!
need to paint me as illustrious. Instead, paint me as fierce.
Sure, I guess. I think cute might suit you a little better, though.
Did you not just say that Saint
Come on,
Sethlene had an
Ignatz,
impressive
figure it
and
out,
fierce
buddy.
about her? Well, if that is the case, then I too would like to look fierce. You're welcome to paint me repeatedly until you get the expressiveness just right. Rather, you must paint me repeatedly until
Flayne,
I am
no.
satisfied with the outcome.
Flayne, artists need to be paid,
I'm not
Flayne.
sure I can ever produce a painting that completely satisfies you, but I'll try. I said I would, and I will not go back on my word.
Oh, Flayne.
Even if this painting takes me months, that wouldn't be a problem, would it?
Not at all. We're friends, aren't we?
Industrial Revolution with
I
every
am
single
happy
human
to
having
help
crest
with
and
a
weird
friend's
super tech being
request,
studied.
even if it
I don't know
takes
about every
centuries.
single human having crests.
Thank you for that. Though I hope it doesn't take quite that long.
But because, well, yeah, there were definitely might be more floating around. It is mentioned that like the genetics aren't particularly strong. Like a lot of the conflict with some of the noble characters in this game are that their noble bloodlines are dying out and they're not having crest bearing children. You know.
To put it plainly, no, I do
I
not
imagine it would probably have still like roughly the same like amount of crest havers
I'm so
and
glad I
not.
asked.
So he does care.
It would be a
Why
really
were
cool
you
setting.
asking me about the world outside Fodlan before?
There's so much I have yet
Anyway,
to
just
see.
spitballing. But
Even these days, when it's ravaged by conflict, the world
like
is
there are so many
diverse.
other countries in this world that we
Buildings,
only hear bits and
landscapes,
pieces about.
geography differ vastly from place to place.
Artificial cresting, you were
There's so
absolutely
much
right,
variety
Raina. You were
within
absolutely right. I
Fodlan.
forgot about that.
And the outside world must be even more varied. I
Oh,
feel
but
so
like, but the
inspired
tech for
just
that
thinking
was
about it.
exclusive to the Nabatians,
So,
though.
I'd like to
So
travel
depending on
to
how
Sudan.
Slytherin gets dealt
I
with,
see.
they might not have that
You
tech
should go.
until they re-engineer
so?
it, depending on what Hanuman's up to, I guess.
I told you before. In order to know the world, you have to experience it for
Plus,
yourself.
even if they could, they
much to
wouldn't
see.
be
Even simple things. Flowers.
they wouldn't
food,
be giving like a ton of them
varieties
out
that don't
because
exist
remember,
in
you
Fodlan.
get more than one
new
and
smells, new tastes.
you just
I could
straight up
tell
like
you about
die
them,
like young.
But you would only imagine
So-
them, not comprehend them.
Hanuman
If you
makes it in a
want
lot of
true
his endings.
understanding,
Damn.
Go out into the world.
Actually,
your
you know
eyes,
what?
feel the breeze
Biohacking
in.
Fire Emblem setting.
Speak
I
to
like
its
this.
people.
I love the sound of this.
Then you will know.
Hello,
Yes.
Austelis. Because in a biohacking Fire Emblem setting,
Is
that
there
means
something
we'd
else?
get some, the
You
first people who'd be on the
never
in
talked
ground
to
floor
me
of
like this
biohacking,
before,
you
Shanae.
know, are the
It's
trans
nothing.
people.
Sorry.
Hearing you talk about exploring the world made me think about what I should
Austelis,
do
you're in
with
for the
myself.
very, you're
Do
in
you
the
have
last
plans for the
stretch here.
future?
We've only got a
After the
couple
war?
more to go by my
None.
original count. It
Go
looks
ahead.
like we might have more. I
must
might have
find
miscounted originally.
Ahead of
Fire
you,
Emblem, but it's
Shanae.
just Bioshock. There you go,
Hell,
Fire
yeah,
Emblem, but
that-
it's just Bioshock.
If you have time for empty
Oh no,
compliments,
we
you have
did just
time to
reinvent
encourage
Bioshock
me
again, didn't
instead.
we? That is what we just came
Yes,
back
of
up with.
course. Shamir,
Shit.
you find success in everything you do.
Thank you, Ignatz. I'll do my best.
University Wi-Fi keeps keeping off when you put down your phone, so keep missing. No, I'm sorry, Bex. Well, let's see. Lysithea has to support with Hanuman.
Did you want something, Professor Harry?
Yeah, a man chooses.
Ah, Lysithea.
There's always a
Thank you
man,
for coming.
and there is always a
First,
fire
I
emblem.
ask that you allow me to apologize. I fear I hurt you with my insensitive words. I have failed you. not as a researcher, but as a human being.
Something, something,
I'm
would
the
you
one who should
kindly?
apologize. I'm sorry for being rude
Oh,
to you.
hello, Michael.
Anyway, I'll keep going along with your research. I have to be on my way now.
Please, Lysithea, a moment more. I did not call you here simply to apologize. I told you once that you were an exquisite subject for my crest research. Why? Because there are no records of any other person ever having borne 2 crests.
Correct.
We cannot say anything for certain about the makeup of your body. Therefore, it seems hasty to conclude.
Oh, god damn it, Hahnemann. How come you only come to this conclusion in Lysithea's route? See, like, a top chooses a bottom of it. Nice. Like, that's why you gotta think in the other routes. Like, they just call upon him and they're like, hey, yo, figure this out, buddy.
Indeed. And the goal of my field
Here's like, I don't know, a 12-pack of Monster Energy. I need you to sort this out, buddy.
I even hope to devise a means to bestow a crest.
Hahnemann is the VA of Igor? Is he?
Why would you want to do such a thing?
Because I despise this world in which the presence or absence of a crest can determine a person's worth.
Huh.
However, if
He absolutely is. He is indeed the voice of Igor in 3 and 4. It doesn't look like he was credited for P5. I mean, for reasons. But according to the Wikipedia page, anyway.
the knowledge of how to remove them. Yes?
Do you think?
But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Crest could mean that they won't suffer from its effects any longer?
What I am trying to tell you
How good at all this Hahnemann is? Yeah, I mean, he's been doing it for a long time, right? I gotta imagine that's why that's kind of why Rhea wants him at the academy, right? To keep an eye, because if someone's gonna be out there trying to push research beyond what she's kind of like kept Fodlan at, she wants them close, you know? I imagine if war hadn't broken out, then Rhea probably would have killed Hahnemann in a few years.
Professor Hahnemann? I think I'm the one who should be asking for your help, really. Anyway, I'm sick of a crest determining a person's worth, too.
Oh.
Is that right? Perhaps
Lysithea, my favorite tiny little goblin.
Yourself. I think you would make a fantastic
The voice of Eeyore. Oh, no.
Is a noble life, you know.
If you do manage to restore my lifespan, I'd certainly think about it.
I will hold you to those words.
Rhea, but if they have the crest, how long till nukes?
Future ahead of us.
God damn it. God damn it, Rhea. Why are you like this? I know why you're like this, but still. Cool little touch I noticed on my last playthrough. You find the Sword of the Creator in the tomb, right? You pull it out of a coffin. And I'm like, that's a weird place to find it. Oh, right. That's why. Hilda and Sedith.
Ah, Hilda. Business in town?
The guilt trip.
Yes, I'm buying some art supplies.
It's been like 1,000 years, Rhea. Please. Rhea has no chill. She's taking control, and she has no other, and she can't envision a different way of existing now.
By the way, your tales seem quite popular. I saw a big crowd of kids at the church.
Wonderful to hear. We made the right choice leaving it there.
I also heard a mother scolding her child by saying, if
Nuke
you keep
magic.
lazing around, you'll
You want
turn
nuke
into a
magic? I mean,
fox."
Lysithea is right there, right?
As long as there's a friendly squirrel around, being a fox doesn't sound so bad.
That was not my intention. Perhaps the story was better off in its original form after all.
Anyway, I guess you've got something to keep you busy after the war.
AU, where Sedith just becomes a children's book author.
But now there are lots of people who love them. The kids are looking forward to your next release. You don't want to disappoint them.
I do wonder how appropriate it is to sit around and write children's books in an era of great change.
An era of great change. Isn't that exactly what
Oh,
kids need
Hilda
something
being
to hold
weirdly
on to?
insightful.
They're the future of Fodlan, after all.
Astute observation. But if I am to continue in this trade, I will require more of your assistance.
Really? You're a successful author.
Oh, wait, hold on. He gets both Hilda and Bernadetta to do illustrations?
I need an artist
Oh,
who can
no.
appreciate the message
Conflict.
and who can draw
kids instead
pictures
of
that
being a church
resonate
guy.
with children. Your art
Yeah,
has a certain
yeah. If
careless
Seth keeps going like
quality
this, he's
that
gonna
feel
become like
matches
that
my
kind of
work splendidly.
camp counselor.
Careless.
Let me tell you about. Pulls up a chair and turns it around. Let me tell you about kids about the original superhero, Saros.
Continuing with this work?
Well, yes. I guess I can stick with it until the war is over.
Such lukewarm.
Imagine that though.
No matter. We can consider the post-war
Big magic
situation
punk
when we
and the side character is just being an author.
I'm pretty fond
And
of
he's
being a
dragon.
fox.
That's so cool though. I love it.
Squirrel
He's just
wouldn't be
like
the
that's
worst
so
thing.
good. Like he's
I'll admit,
out there doing what he
I like
wants
seeing
in
Seth
his
correspond to
in
his
his old
stories.
like that's so great.
was that?
Let Seth write children's books.
Didn't say a word. Let's get to work on that sequel.
Okay, here's the. According to these, I should still have the correct number. Hilda and Cyril.
Hi, Cyril. Starting to clean, huh?
Hilda?
Personally, I'm all worn out from carrying water and fodder for the horses.
He's like, nice school teachers I had at my Christian school as a kid.
Whoa.
Nice, but still ready to tell you about what she's. Yeah,
Water?
yeah.
Horses? Are you saying you did work all by yourself?
It's time to pretend I died and get a new pen name.
You weren't here to help.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, basically.
Because you couldn't find nobody else to do it for you.
Oh
I
man.
was waiting for you. Because look.
A letter?
I told you I'm always getting letters from my brother. I wrote about you in a couple of mine.
What about Flane? What is Flane gonna be up to
You're
in
talking
1,000
about me
years, huh?
behind my back? Honestly, you're so...
We didn't say anything bad. In fact, well, listen up.
Children,
Here's what my
right? The
brother
children
does.
must never learn about the evils of
Be
evolution.
he Elmiran or no,
JPEG
any
of a sealed
young man
letter.
with
It's the same
compassion
JPEG we use for every sealed
is
letter.
worthy of respect.
Who knew?
Character is what really matters, not the place of one's birth.
Flane definitely starts
Huh,
fishing at some point,
that's
right?
pretty nice.
Like she starts
Especially
fishing and
since
then
it was
she
from a noble who
opens
battles all
up. She
minds.
finally opens up a restaurant at some point.
He's a funny
Because
one.
some of her
For the
supports are about
first
her
time,
learning how to
he
cook and getting
respects
better
you.
at it.
So thoughtful and tolerant.
That letter makes me happy.
So I imagine,
A lot of people
I
look
imagine
down on me
Flane
just
is
'cause
like
I'm all
running a
better.
small hole in the
So,
wall,
you know,
like
it's nice to hear somebody
a
accept
hole in the
me as
wall
just
restaurant,
another person.
kind of out of the way. You know, she fishes
Hey,
up her own
what's that supposed to
food,
mean?
prepared like one of
I
those
accepted
restaurants
you
that
from the start.
it's
You're
really
so
good, but you know
helpful.
you can't
do
tell too many
everything
people
I
about it because
ask.
you don't want it to become a thing.
That's
You know,
not acceptance. That's relying on somebody
it's one of
else
those ones where you like you
work.
discover it and you're like, oh, how have I
As
never
long
heard
as
this
you
is
see a
here
grown-up
before?
Who your brother doesn't need to worry about so much.
I'm plenty grown up. I just brought food and water for the horses, all on my
God damn
own.
it, Hilda.
Being
Flane
proud
runs a
of
Southern
doing what
country
you're
diner.
supposed to be
I can
doing
see
just
that.
means you're lazy the rest of the time.
Like a good like a greasy
So,
spoon
I
type
gotta
scenario.
admit,
I
being
can
relied
definitely
on
see that
is
happening.
kinda nice.
In that case, from now on, I'll rely on
Hilda.
you even more. Let's see.
Hilda, no.
First, I need you to.
Well, time to get back to work.
Good job setting boundaries, Cyril.
Hey,
God.
what's up?
Cyril's character just is really not interesting to me. Raising Thai place in your town like that. Don't tell so many people because it'll be so crowded. Raise your price. Yeah, exactly. You want to keep patronizing them, but you don't want it to get too out of hand, you know? Looks like we might be on point. All right, Leonie and Seth.
Today was a great day for fishing, wasn't it?
It was, though I did lose to you in numbers.
You won on size.
We might have 64 of them. I think I miscounted by
And
one.
it was you who caught this beauty.
It is a lovely specimen. The fins are rather like wings. and
I'm
the
sorry,
scales
everyone.
are
I lied to you
reminiscent
on the
of
stream
a
name.
lustrous rainbow. But I have heard this type of fish does not taste good.
It's a little bland, but it's not bad.
So are you spying on them?
You
It's-
just need to fry it in
I don't
oil.
think it's ever established. I think this is
There are
just
lots
like
of
you
little
as the
bones,
player
too,
get
so
to
you
see
need to
these
be careful with
conversations
these.
happening.
You
It's not like
truly are an
Byleth
expert,
is out there
Bella.
spying on them.
I
It's
would
just
be
like, oh,
delighted
here's a
if you would
cutscene that
come
you,
for
the
us.
player, get to watch.
Happily. You know, once this war's over, I'll be able to make even more elaborate dishes. I'm sure none of it will compare to your wife's cooking, though.
Entirely different styles. I very much look forward to seeing what you come up with.
think
Yet
Byleth is,
another reason to
Byleth
end
is
this
just
war
nosy. Yeah, you know what? No. You know what? No. Let's run with this. I like that. Yeah. No. You're all on the right track here. These are all Byleth just kind of poking her, like
In the heat of battle,
she's
there's
got like a
little
telescope
details
and
like
is
a
just
friend's
watching them
cooking
from a
that I
distance.
reach for to find my courage.
Byleth gets really mundane visions. There you go.
I didn't expect that from you.
She's like Shulk, but instead she's like, oh, I guess you two are gonna have a conversation in like an hour.
With all the chaos, it's great to have a way to relax.
They hide in the background of the
hope there will
sports.
come
I
a
love
time
it.
when we can fish like this without worry, to our heart's content.
Hope's not enough. We need to build that future with our own.
Let's all be happy that they didn't give Byleth time manipulation
Even
powers
after
in
that
Smash
is
Bros.
done,
Just
you
for a
had better
moment.
not rest idle. I've grown quite fond of your
All right,
cooking.
moment over. She's just in the background ambling about.
There's plenty more where that came from.
Or any of the ones that take place in the the dining hall. She's just gonna be in there shoveling food in her mouth along with whatever 2 students she brought along. Byleth through the keyhole. Oh yeah, I should. Nice. Shoot, I miscounted, y'all. There might be 64 of these.
So that's it. I'm going to be a great mercenary just like Captain Gerald.
Ha! You skipped right to the conclusion. That's exactly what Gerald would do.
Definitely doing her important tasks, not listening. Yeah, exactly. I love this. This is my new interpretation of the support combos now. Austellus, did I say hello to you, Austellus? I hope I did. We're ending this off pretty flaccid. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you want. I don't get to choose where they start and end.
Captain Gerald. But I'm an old man. I've come to accept that I will never be his match.
No, don't say that.
I did, good. Okay, I might be. I'm not drunk, but definitely, 2 cans of alcohol on me now. I'm a little bit,
But you're still young.
a little bit.
Youth is a weapon of the
tipsy.
utmost power, infinite possibility. We are both inspired by Captain Gerald. So I
Both of these two fighting over our dead dad's cock. Come on, buddy.
That's... Wow. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say.
I love this so much. The more I'm hearing about this, the more I'm hearing you elaborate on this, Mercury, the more I'm convinced. Like, what about the ones where they're in a chapel not the chapel, but like, you know the area. Like late at night and they're praying to the goddess, and Byleth is just kind of like behind one of the pillars listening in.
I told you once about what happened at the inn.
The hatchet throwing? Sure, I remember. Why?
Gerald ran up quite a tab with all his drinking, and he left without paying. Now
She's in the
he's dead.
confession booth. There you go.
And as you have declared that you'll carry on his legacy, you see where I'm
God damn it, Aloise.
Wait, what?
In the chapel they hide behind the statues. There you go.
Nothing to do with me either. I don't drink. Even so, all this time,
Gerald never paid his. Our dad sucked.
and it's not just that one place. He owes money in towns all over Fodlan. I haven't been able to step into a tavern anywhere without
Just
being
poses in the
backed
same way as
for
the Saints.
payment. So
I mean,
exhausting.
you're not wrong.
But now I can say that the
You're not
debts are
wrong.
for you to cover. You're still young, so I'm sure you'll manage in time.
Our father left hundreds of years worth of
Hold on, that's a joke, right? Hey,
worth
get back
of
here.
no.
I don't want your stupid debts.
Oh no. God, I hope those two don't have a paired ending. That would be terrible. All right, and we're ending it off on the extra. Apparently, we had 64. So this is number 63, the second. Manuela and Sedith. Ending it off with a bang.
Manuela, about what we discussed earlier with regard to Saint Sethlin, I feel the need to correct your misapprehensions.
Oh, I won't expose your passion to the light of day. I told you I can keep a secret.
That's not it at all.
Well, y'all, we made it.
You see,
This is the end
I
of
suppose there is no other way.
And look at that, just after 3 o'clock too. Yeah. So it looks like each one of them was just slightly under 3 minutes.
Story I could enjoy hearing.
If they had been exactly 3 minutes long each, we would have been ending around in about
A very long time ago.
3 minutes or so from now. We might still yet, actually.
She was wise, kind of heart.
But that's a surprisingly consistent number.
Most wonderful woman. Not long after we married,
She makes
we
him
were
take back the
blessed
tavern
with
tabs. Good.
a girl.
You had a wife and a daughter? Why would you have kept that secret?
To protect my daughter. That has been my foremost concern ever since I had the misfortune to lose.
Oh, is
my
Sedith
wife.
going to come clean to
It is my
Manuela
daughter
about...
who resembles Saint Sethaline. That is why I make my oath to
No.
this statue.
So very few of them where...
Your story doesn't sound right to me. I don't mind saying it.
Why is that?
When you talked about your ideal woman before, your description was almost exactly Saint Sethaline. Now you're telling me your daughter is a perfect match?
It is not an exact resemblance.
Violet,
My
no,
daughter,
kiss.
for instance, is neither proper nor
Violet doesn't have the good sense to know what good ships and bad ships are. Violet's just ships.
seldom lives up to reality.
Like a fleet without a direction in a whirlpool.
Do it again. Say the way of the world with a serious face. You're so stern and proper.
Manuela, why is the bush talking?
Quite funny.
But even better, Violet is there with like the two little bush sticks, you know, pretending. Oh, that's so good.
Understood what was so funny.
I sound like your late wife? Don't tell me. I actually resemble
Manuela,
her, don't
come
I?
on, Manuela.
Mirror
Don't be like this.
image, I bet.
Why not everyone cross everyone says Violet?
Though, no, unthinkable.
The way you say it, I suppose I must resemble her a little. Wow.
Wait, I forget. So was
Say, Sedith, have you ever considered remarrying? You know.
was
just
Sedith's
so you're
wife
not
also one
alone?
of the saints?
It is not a
No.
thought that has ever crossed my
Right?
mind. I have been too preoccupied with fatherhood.
'Cause
It's been a long time since your wife passed,
No.
right?
What's up, fellow Professor
Start thinking
Horace?
about it. There could be someone who finds you handsome. Someone
Yeah,
close
yeah.
by, maybe even right in front of you.
But just pretend Violet isn't there. They're just used to it. Violet just appears everywhere and is just kind of in the background, just silently, stoically doing whatever it is Violet does. You know, trying to fish. Violet's just in the back of the chapel with a fishing rod, holding a fishing rod off the side of the bridge.
Over if you like. How about tonight?
I don't know why that was.
Are we back to this again?
Sedith.
Very well. Just see that you do not drink too much. I would rather not have to
Aw,
carry you
buddy.
home.
And that's it, everyone. We've successfully gone through 63 asterisk support conversations. How about that? Oh. Violet doesn't understand you need water to fit. I gotta be honest, I had a really great time chatting with all y'all. There's something about this game and the characters that being so rich that just really allows itself to be kind of like this. Oh, look at that, exactly 3:12 too. Exactly 3 minutes each. What an average. Cool. There's something about this game that is just very fun to shoot the shit about these characters. And I'm glad we did this. This is not something that's going to happen very often, if ever again. But for now, I'm glad that we had the chance to sit together and go through the weird consequences of my latest playthrough. So, and I definitely have some new headcanons now too. That's for sure. Thank you all for coming. If you want to support Vivian and I, you know how to do that. Patreon.com/8PR or Ko-Fi.com/2queersplay. Links in the description. And no stream tomorrow because tomorrow's a new pre-recorded episode, 2 Queers Play. Tomorrow we're playing Sayonara Wild Hearts. Do look forward to that. That was a delight to play for myself. I very much enjoyed that. I'll be back on Saturday. Saturday we're doing the regular stuff, so it'll be more Toho practice and then Dandara. And we'll see where it goes from there. Thank you all for coming. Have a great day.